Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. My name is Raheem Aljman out of Atlanta, Georgia. You got a lot of people that's coming in. Good morning. I can't say that I can't see across the screen here, but good morning. Got a lot of people that's coming in to TikTok this morning. Good to have each and every one of you. And you can definitely be a part of the conversation. All you have to do is give us a call 508 924 3521. 508 924 3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. With Monday morning, we got a great week ahead of us. Hoping and wishing and praying that you all will hang out with us, share the broadcast, and please, if you don't mind, please share the broadcast. And if you every now and then double tap that screen, make some of them hearts go up there. Let me know that you're appreciating what we're talking about this morning. Got a question, and I got you by myself for a few minutes before everybody get to coming in, so I get to talk to you this morning. Um, in life, and let me preface it by saying I had a conversation with a friend over the weekend, and a lot of times people, you got to understand, people don't always feel appreciated. People don't always feel as though they are appreciated for the things that they do and how they extend themselves in a lot of situations in lives. People just don't feel appreciated. And that may even, listening to what I'm saying to you right now, that may even be you. You may be a person that don't feel appreciated. You know that you go above and beyond in many situations in life. You go above and beyond. You do the things that you know needs to be done. In other people's lives, you are that go-to. But when the chips are in reverse, when the chips on the other page, if you will, let's say on the other page or whatever, or on the table, let's say it that way. When the chips are on the table, who do you have that you can really go to, that you know that you can really trust, that will have your back, and you don't even have to worry about it? Do you have that person? And I'm going there because I want to ask you this question. I want to ask you this question. I did all that just to get here. How many people in life, how many people in this thing called life that we actually overlook? How many people do we just overlook? Oh, that's just Johnny. That's just Marshall. That's just Tony. Or that's just Janet. How many people do we overlook? And when the chips are down, if you think about it, if you really think about it, the people that we overlook sometimes, are they really that go-to person? That when you're in a situation, are they that go-to person that you know that you could go to? Oh man, I could go to Johnny. Johnny, you do it for me. Johnny not gonna let me down. Can Johnny feel the same way about you? Do Johnny feel the same way about you? 508 924 3521. 508 924 3521. How many times do we overlook the quote unquote, air quote, important people in our lives and not even give them a second thought unless or until we need something? And then we know that, okay, I could go to blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah will look out. It's going to look out for me. I don't have a place to stay. Let me go over to Blasey house. He or she will allow me to camp out on their couch or in an extra bedroom for a little while. If the chips are reversed, maybe a lot of times, a lot of people that's actually listening to me right now, a lot of times you have an extra room in your house and know somebody that's going through something. Did you even offer it? Did you even offer that room to anybody? Or let me guess, you don't want nobody in your space. You don't want nobody to invade your space. And so for that reason, you work too hard to get to where you are right now. So you're not going to allow nobody to come into your space. You're not going to let nobody crowd your space. How selfish is that? And I asked the question, are we selfish? Are we selfish to the point that we would not help another individual that we know needs help. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Are we really selfish? Are we a selfish group of people? Individually or collectively, are we selfish? Do we care as much as we say? And see, the thing that gets me, I know people that will say this all the time. They say it all the time. Man, if you need me, man, give me a call. Give me a call if you need me. I'll be right here. Just give me a call. How many people really mean that? How many people really mean it? If you find yourself in a situation, how many people really mean it? Really mean it when they say, "Just give me a call and I got your back. I'll help you out, man. Give me a call." And then when it comes time, or they find out that you're in a certain situation, man, them jokers don't even answer their call. Don't even answer. Oh man, that's Charlie. Ain't also Charlie going through something right now, but I can't deal with Charlie. Ain't in a situation. Ain't in the mood to deal with Charlie right now. Ain't in the mood to deal with Charlie right now. Man, I call Charlie back, knowing you ain't gonna call Charlie back, knowing Charlie's going through a situation, knowing that Charlie's supposed to be your friend or your family. Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Don't blame Mr. Charlie. Charlie is just a man.
And he's doing the best that he can.
Best you can.
Exactly.
Oh, Charlie.
Mr. Charlie is something else. But Toussaint, I'm asking a
Oh,
question.
Charlie, call ID and get it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
Good morning.
the caller ID ain't gonna get Charlie no help at all. He better push that what star 67 or something like that to block his number and hoping they answer a block call or restrict the call, hope they answer it. Hey man, this is Charlie, man. I've been trying to get you, man. I don't know why I can't get you. Charlie, you know what,
You
Charlie?
called me? You called me?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't get it.
Mm-hmm. Man, I don't know how I missed your call, Charlie. But Charlie, I'm in the middle of something right now. Charlie, let me call you right back. Charlie, no, don't hang up the phone, man. Don't hang up the phone, man. Click. Don't look for no call back, Charlie. Charlie, don't you look for them to call you back. And I'm asking a question, Toussaint. How many times do we overlook the quote unquote important people in our lives? And like I said earlier, there could be a person, man, that family member or a real close friend. You could have an extra room in your house. And I'm certainly not saying you, but you could have an extra room in your house.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, there you go. You can have an extra room in your house, right? And knowing that Mr. Charlie is going through something, got kicked out or whatever, just don't have a place to stay. Now you have an extra room in your house. Now Charlie could be your family member or your friend. How many people do you know that would extend that extra room to Mr. Charlie to help him out? How many people, Toussaint?
Few.
Mm-hmm.
Few.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? And just to be honest with you, the first question would be, regardless to whatever situation Mr. Charlie or Miss Charlie would be in, is how did they get there?
Mm-hmm.
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 Because we're not concerned with they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Is how they got there.
Yeah.
Not knowing that if it wasn't for some reason or the other, Mr. Charlie would be us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have to almost apologize to Mr. Charlie because, unfortunately, Raheem, these days, and I'm careful about saying this, opening your door to people will cost you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll cost you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might with the squatting. You ever heard of squatting?
Yeah, squatters' right. Mm-hmm. Squatters' rights.
Squatters, yes. And it's easy to get people in, but it's hard to get them out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When they overextend it, wear out their welcome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They got the refrigerator open. You know that, especially if you have kids, there's a certain time that you prepare your food for your kids,
mm-hmm.
and in the midst of you cooking, here come Mr. Charlie with a plate
Mm-hmm.
before your kids.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about something I don't. Unfortunately, and I'm sorry to say, the reality has set in. Everybody's selfish.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to make yourself available because you always say this. You got to have limitations
Mm-hmm.
because takers don't have none.
Yes, absolutely.
Givers
Yeah, yeah,
have
yeah,
to have
absolutely.
limitations
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
because takers don't have none.
That's true.
You didn't think I remember that.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Man, it's hard to find a friend that's a friend indeed.
mm-hmm.
That's a rough deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
People people make you not want to help people.
Mm-hmm. But Tucson, how do you gauge? How do you gauge? And again, I'm talking just open it. I'm not necessarily talking
Mm-hmm.
about you, or if you want to personalize it, you can. But how do you
Yeah.
gauge who and how you help someone? How do you gauge that?
You have to ream out
Mm-hmm.
the takers that are just greedy. There are
Mm-hmm.
people that don't need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I've done some things. I tried to make available for some things, and before the people that actually need it get it, you run out
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with an abundance.
And let me say this to you, Tucson. I want to applaud you, brother, because I saw what you did over the weekend, man. I saw that was powerful,
Mm,
brother. That was powerful, man. That was powerful.
mm.
I don't know if that's what you're talking about when you say that, because you had abundance. But so I'm just
Oh
saying,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
but
But
you should. And I'm sorry to say, when you try to, you know what it reminded me of, and
mm-hmm.
I'm referring to it partially, but this is across the board. It reminded me of after Jesus gave fed the 5,000. I don't know if it was the 5,000 or the 4,000,
Mm-hmm.
but he went somewhere, and when he got there, here come the crowd again,
Yes, yes.
and he was
Mm-hmm.
a powerful teacher and healer, and he had a lesson to learn, and he had the ability to heal
Mm-hmm.
those that would come.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when they got where he was, he said to them, "Y'all came for the loaves."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
people have a tendency to only come for what they can get,
Mm-hmm.
even when they come to serve.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's true.
And unfortunately, you have to gauge that out because you have to focus. And I'm learning this. You have to focus on those that need,
Mm-hmm.
and leave your focus there. Because if you don't leave your focus on those that need, you get frustrated
Yeah. Yeah.
with the
Mm-hmm.
takers.
Well, the taker's gonna be there.
And you get takers, gripers, and complainers,
Mm-hmm.
greedy and the needy.
Mm. Yeah.
So how are you gonna? You got uh, 5 different categories of people right there on the scene, and they all look alike.
Mm-hmm. My uncle used to say you got all these people, and the only thing they say is they got 3 sentences: "Give me, lend me, or can you spare?" Give me, lend me, can you spare? He said that, and all them. He
I'm gonna remember that.
said, "You got the man, Monk." He said, Man, you better
Text
stop."
that to me.
Yeah,
Text
exactly. I
text
will.
that. Text that to me
He-
because, and I wanna tie that passage of scripture that I talked about to that, and I'm gonna make that a good sermon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said all the time. He said, "Stay away from them. Give me, lend me, can you spare, man? That's all they give me, lend me, can you spare?" That's all they say all the time. Give me, lend me, or can you spare? I like, man, Monk,
Lord have mercy.
Monk, he was something else, man. But But my thing is, man, there are some people that's really out there that really needs, that are really in need, man. And Tucson, you help them
Yeah.
every day, man. Like I said, what you did over the weekend, man. I'm not gonna take the liberty. If you want to expound on what it is, you can. But I saw it. I showed it to my wife and my daughter, man. And my daughter said, "Man, I want some of them turkey legs." And them turkey
Boy,
legs.
look, man, look, Raheem, they had crab legs, man.
Wow, wow, wow. That's good. That's
You know
good.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Raheem,
Mm-hmm.
I got one turkey leg, got the whole thing.
Wow. Wow.
It's
Mm-hmm.
okay, but it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. I do. Let me tell you that one thing. It ain't about me.
Exactly.
I didn't pay. I didn't. Well, I can't say that, but I don't supply that. There's people that's um they call it feeding the coast,
Mm-hmm.
that know that there are people in certain areas that need help,
Mm-hmm.
and they get farmers and uh, businesses that have food supplies
Mm-hmm.
that donate. I don't know how the process is, but they donate it to that for that need,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
and so you can search out even grants to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
All you need to supply is the people to pass it out and
Okay.
prepare it.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay,
good.
so our aim was always, we set it at 300 families. We always set it for that,
Mm-hmm.
and we did 350
Wow.
on Saturday. Now, this is not a boast, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm careful of how I do my forms, like Matthew 6, I think it says, before men. It ain't about showing me. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I
Mm-hmm.
stay out the way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
You
That's
know,
good.
I stay out the way.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate the people that came and helped. That's what you need. That's what we're supposed to be. In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper? And that's what it goes
When I
down
was
to.
hungry, did you feed me?
Exactly. Exactly.
When I was thirsty, did you give me drink?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at all these Jesus lining up in cars.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that they have a car and they have a home. Some people have homes and they don't have no lights and water.
Yep. Yep.
They just got a roof over their head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For real.
Mm-hmm. See, and
You'd be
and that's the thing.
surprised.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
You know, you'd be surprised how many people had to get a ride to
Mm-hmm.
get something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't got
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with it. But if I have something that they can get, or somebody has something to get, it don't have to be me that has it. Somebody got it. I'll find out.
Make it available.
That's our
Yeah.
job to find out.
Make it.
Yeah, make it
Yeah.
available.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's no
Exactly.
big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. And it's not about that. It's about we supposed to be people
Mm-hmm.
that, what his name is, Mr. Charlie.
Yeah. Mr.
We're gonna
Charlie.
run into him.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Charlie. And
He
like.
may not have a phone,
Mm-hmm.
but you see him walking the street all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, and that's why I made the reference to a person could have, and it could be very symbolic. It could be very symbolic, but a lot of times I made reference to having an extra bedroom in your house that you never use, never even open the door, never really open the door to that bedroom, man. As a matter of fact, you might be surprised you open the door what you see in that bedroom because you never go in there. But you Mr. Charlie is a man, or Miss Sarah, a mother just lost her husband or whatever her situation is, and she got 2 or 3 kids, and they're about to evict her and kick her out. Now you got an extra room in your house. You got an extra room in your house. Now you know that Miss Susan or Mr. Charlie could use that room. Why are we? And I understand what you said earlier about, you got to be real careful, and you do. But why don't we at least extend some kind of support toward them? Even if you're not gonna let them come into your home, give them something, man. Let them come out, feed them
I mean,
something.
here's the thing. Here's right here, and I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, here's the thing. There's avenues for
Mm-hmm.
you to help people pay their rent
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so they can do
Mm-hmm.
better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because there are mothers, single mothers, that have spent their time helping, trying to raise their children, and because of the environment they live in, their children get involved when they start growing up. They
Mm-hmm.
get involved in things, and they have to spend their money
Yeah.
out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
That
Or
has nothing to do with me. But
mm-hmm.
if they get into that situation, if
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it, somebody got it.
Exactly. Exactly. Or
And
or or
if
who's to
if
say to some?
if you have $20 and I have $20, go ahead.
Yeah. No, 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 no. Go ahead. You go on somewhere. Go ahead, brother. I don't want to cut
No,
y'all.
if you have $20, I have $20. We get on the phone. We talk about some things. We talk about. We don't have to be a business,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but can you help me help somebody?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
There's
see.
no sweat off my back. I
Mm-hmm.
eat $20 in a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I eat it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do. I don't know about nobody else. I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of greedy, man. I done gained 50 pounds in the last year.
Good Lord. Mm-hmm.
It's a
But
shame.
see, but that's the thing. And Tucson, you know that not to blow no horn or nothing like that, not to try to sound no whistle, because what we do has nothing to do with us. It's all about our Father, man. He provides us a way that we could do these things. But over the last few years, man, there's been people that called into the station here, man, and we've done several things for them. We come together and we all
Yeah.
pool our money together. No, we don't want to put too much of a burden on anybody, but we pool our money together.
Mhm.
Somebody called and we find out that it's absolutely legit, because sometimes people call in on some kind of scam, trying to run some kind of game. We ain't here for that. We ain't here for that.
Mhm.
But if
Right.
once we find out that it's legit and this person is really in this situation, we come together, man. We put the call out there. Look here, what can you do? How much can you give? We need to help this person, and
Mhm.
we all come together.
Mhm.
We come together, man. We put our money
Mhm.
together and send every penny. We don't keep no administration fee and all. We don't do all that. No,
Mhm.
ain't no administration
Mhm.
fee. The
And here's,
administration fee is
here's another thing, Raheem. What
mm-hmm.
we don't. I hope pray that we never do.
Yeah.
We don't say a word.
Don't say a word. No, no.
And
People will
here's
never
what I'm
know.
talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about broadcasting
No,
people's situation
no.
out in the open.
Now, Tucson,
Somebody.
you've been you've been with us for a while now, and you've been in a couple of few situations where we help some people. When have we ever said anything about it?
They ain't going.
Ain't going to. No.
I mean, here we talking about some situations now because there's a point that's trying to be made.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody needs some help and you're able to help them,
Yeah.
help them.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm glad that it ain't me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it could be.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't nothing special about me that it ain't me.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it wasn't for grace, it would be me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's how I look at it.
And see, and even now, like I said, even right now, we're talking about what happened, the situation, but we never tell who it is, what the situation was, or anything, because you'll never get that out of us. You'll never get that. You'll never, I take that to my grave, man. I take it to my grave, because their business ain't their business ain't everybody's business. We help because God put us in a situation where we was able to help, and we came together, man, unselfishly. We came together, and a lot of times, people gave what they did not have. A lot of time people gave what they did not have, but we knew that their need was greater than our need. Their need was greater than ours. And so we wanted to meet the need, and we did. Thank God we did. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Good morning. I want to say Rennie. I think it's Rennie. Good morning, Rennie. Good morning, JB. Good morning. We've got a lot of people. Good morning, Robert, James, Derwin. Good morning. We got a lot of people that's joining on TikTok, and you could be a part of this conversation. We love to have you. All you have to do is give us a call, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Tucson, we about to switch up, man. Go ahead. Finish your thought on this. We about to switch up. We're going to go into a doozy, man.
Okay. So if I'm particular, what I was trying to say is I'm particular because I know that it's costly. I'd rather tell a person, okay, I know I see you in this situation. Let me get you a room for the night.
Yeah.
At least one night, if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do that. let's see if we can get you somewhere you can stay for a month till you get
Mm-hmm.
on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
And there are humanitarian funds out there that you can utilize grants to help people, and
Mm-hmm.
that's basically what I'm trying to find out. How much is there out there?
Yeah.
Because it don't have to be you, and it don't have to come out of your pocket. If
Exactly.
people find you doing something,
Mm-hmm.
they'll help you do what
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. And Tucson, to your point, a lot of times people say, well, I'm gonna get you a room for the night and make sure that got a place to to really lay down and relax and stuff like that. Um, I gotta put this disclaimer out there, man, because some people out there think a little different. You don't have to know what room number they're in. You ain't gotta know what hotel they're in. Just give them the money to get it, make sure they get it, or whatever you're gonna do. But there's no ulterior motive. See, people saying,
Right.
yeah, there's no ulterior motives at all. We ain't trying to get you no hotel room so we can come up there and snuggle up with you and all that foolishness. Nah,
The devil is a lie.
the devil is a
You better
liar.
be careful. You
Exactly.
wind up with fleas.
But I just wanted to put that out there and let people know, no, there's no ulterior motives here. There's none. There's none. It's just it's the right thing to do. There's a person that's in need. And again, I'm gonna say it's a gospel station. I'm gonna say it like it is, man. God put us in a situation where we can help them collectively come together and help Go ahead, Tucson.
I'm watching. You can always tell. And you got to be careful when you're in the middle of your church service, and all of a sudden somebody comes in, and they always got a child, and they're suffering and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. Say we pray for all the time a spirit of discernment because people are scammers,
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and they hurt people that really need help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that old saying that people say all the time, unfortunately, is very true, man. Hurt people will hurt people. Hurt people
Yeah.
will hurt people, man. That's unfortunate, but it
Give
is.
me, let me, and
I said it
can
to you.
I spare?
Did,
Can
did,
you spare?
did you get it?
Give me,
Give me.
give me, lend me. Can you spare?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he liked that one now. He liked that one. That's
I
my
like it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
yeah, that's my uncle's old saying, man. All the more give me limit, can you spare? I always walk around here old Pope now. Give me limit, can you
Hey,
spare?
I got one more saying that I heard somebody at work say. He was told this. He says, if everybody do a little, a
Mm-hmm.
lot can be done.
Yes, sir. That's good. That's good. And that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And
Hmm.
Cassandra got this saying, man, with her organization. She said everybody can't do it. Everybody can't do it all, but everybody can't do it all, something like that, but everybody can do something. Somewhere like that. I might be,
Right.
yeah, yeah, that's real good. That's real good. Toy, you want a tea? Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Good to have you, sister. We talk about this, and we're gonna transition over to another topic. But I want to hear your heart on this right here. People, a lot of time, times get hard for people sometimes. Time get hard for everybody sometimes. Every present company included, everybody. This is what life happens. But if you know how many people that could have an extra room in their house, and Mr. Charlie went through a situation in his house, in his home, whatever, where he got kicked out, evicted, or whatever, and Miss Charlie is a friend, a family member, or even Miss Sarah that has a couple of kids. Husband just passed, and she just couldn't keep up with the bills. But you have an extra room in your house. And I say you, I'm not talking about you in particular, but you have an extra room in your house. How many people would open up the door and allow them to come and use that extra room that they never use at all? How many people do you think would do that to you? Do we really care for each other?
I mean, yeah, people do it every day, but I mean, unfortunately, evil still lurks and things happen. So we probably find a few more people more resistant to open up the
Mm-hmm.
door for strangers.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, no, we still have people out here that will do that. We
Mm-hmm.
still have people out here that will go out their way to try to make something happen, you
Mm-hmm.
know, for that individual, places to go. But
Mm-hmm.
again, as time goes on and evil waters down, how we can help each other. It's just unfortunately, people cannot be trusted from a physical aspect for fear of what they might do to you now.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know what I mean? Even Miss Sarah or Mr. Charlie, honey, I mean, come on now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
Mm-hmm.
like there's a lot of opportunities that are missed because of fear, because we're scared that these individuals are emotionally unstable and what could happen to you trying to go out your way, trying to help an individual.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we have people that still have it in their heart, want to do that? Yeah. Do we have as many of those people doing it? Probably not, because we ain't got no time. We don't have no time for no extra problems. We ain't got no time for nobody coming across nobody crazy, losing our lives, all because we want to reach out and help, what I'm saying, the next person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple of us, it's a couple of us out there that got it.
Exactly. I'm gonna tell you something that happened. Well, a friend of mine told me that happened to him here in Atlanta. He said him and a couple of people came down to hang out here in Atlanta. And I'm gonna tell you something. You better be careful in Atlanta, man. Atlanta is something different. Atlanta's a different kind of animal. But he said he was out and they was out hanging out nighttime. And they saw this guy that they figured need a ride or something like that. Was a situation. And it was him. He said it was him and two or three other people that was with him. So they pulled up and gave the guy a ride. And the guy, telling the story about, what he was going through and everything here in Atlanta. Again, I'm gonna see it in Atlanta. And said he talked a long time, they laughed and they joked, they had a good time. He took the guy where he was going. And the guy got ready to get out the car and did get out the car. And he said, hold on. He said, let me tell y'all something. The very guy that they was trying to help said this to them. Be careful when y'all picking up people down here. And it was like, what you mean? Said he had a weapon on him, man. And said he was walking around just trying to find somebody that he could kill. And because of the fact that they were so nice to him and pleasant to him, he didn't do it to them. And got out the car and went on about his business. I asked my friend 2 questions. I said, how did you feel about that? And how did you stop him? How did you stop him? What did you do to stop him from hurting the next person? Because y'all were so nice and kind and friendly, he didn't do anything to y'all. But what about the next person? Tucson, talk to me, brother. Tucson, you there?
That mute button is right there. That
Yes.
mute button is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a guy that was walking east, but said he was heading west
Wow.
in a company truck that ran out of gas. Now, last I checked, Raheem, if you driving a company truck, they give you a gas card.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I picked him up, sure did. And I told him, I said, look here, man. I said to him, your story kind of disturbing. He says, man, and I told him, I said, man, if you plan on doing me something, I got something for you. If I get to it before you get to me, this gonna be a different type of ride.
Yeah, yeah.
No, man. But what I'm saying is, the trust, it gets scary sometimes. Trying to help people, and it can get dangerous. And that ride you give somebody might be your last ride.
Might be your last ride. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I had a cousin, he had to get out of his car because he gave a man a ride. That's a rough experience.
Took his car.
Thank God he didn't take his life.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll give the car up.
Exactly.
And walk me. If I can't, Lord have mercy. You always got to keep your combat skills if you got any.
Yeah, exactly.
In mind, not in action, in mind. So,
Wow.
and, I don't know, man, but it hurts those that really need it.
And it does.
And so I always pray or that spirit of discernment, because I remember having, and I always say this when I'm reminded of things like this. That had a guy I know, he was homeless by choice,
Mm-hmm.
and I walking in the store, and I found he said, "Man, can you get me something to drink?" So I go in the store and I buy him a Coke and buy me a Coke. And I
Mm-hmm.
say, "Here you go." When I come out of the store, oh, man, I don't want that. I want the money.
Mm. Mm.
I drank both of them Cokes.
Wow. Wow. Toya with a T, what's on your heart, sis? Toya with a T?
Yeah, I'm here. I had to step to the side there for a second. But yeah, no, I mean, unfortunately, we're dealing with spirits and principalities,
Mm-hmm.
and they do a good job sometimes putting on a costume,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the intent that we normally have is distorted when it comes to trying to help people as time goes on. You have to have already known Miss Sarah in order to say, hey, I'm going to give an extra room or make room for Miss Sarah. But even with that being said, you knowing Miss Sarah don't mean that she might not
Be quick,
pick
Ray.
you out. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it ain't just about Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going
Mm-hmm.
to do that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, I know.
We're not
I know.
going to do that. We
Exactly.
already know across this whole entire globe, you could be
Mm-hmm.
going anywhere, minding your business. You can come up missing in somebody's lunch.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
For real.
Mm. Ain't that sad
I
though?
mean,
Sad
I
reality.
mean, it's sad, but it's something that's been going on since. Let's be real, the days of Jericho, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's stop
Mm-hmm.
acting like oh my God, all these things were new. Yeah, nope, 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 not new, just different.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I even have to be more honest about the situation is because being black in America, they do things to us just for fun, just
Mm-hmm.
because we were black.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So the reality that we have of dealing with evil was multiplied because
Mm-hmm.
now certain people we couldn't deal with or help or assist because they were doing things to us just because we were black. They were
Mm-hmm.
setting us up just because we were black. They were putting us in situations using vulnerabilities like someone needing assistance or needing help or trusting in them just to kill them.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You
Just
know
to
what I
kill it.
mean?
Mm.
I mean, I'm just being real.
Yeah. 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 I mean, it's true. True. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? And it's magnified in our community. Well, at one point it was probably again not as much anymore. But I mean, that's no different with the police, right? I'm supposed to trust
Mm-hmm.
the police,
Mm-hmm.
even if I'm
Supposed to.
black.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm black. And
Wow.
if we have grown so far from being atrocious, like someone asking or looking for a ride or looking for a place to stay, and you killing them, isn't that the same with me trusting the police officer with no weapon on me, and then when you roll up on me, you're going to utilize this vulnerability to murder me?
Mm-hmm.
Waiting, plotting, planning. What's the difference? So, I think, I look at things a little bit differently, especially being a woman. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Being a woman, that's a whole nother level because 9 times out of 10, they target us more than so, a crowd or guys or whatever. So being a woman is another vulnerability that individual will use. You hear about all the time. You're on a dating app because you're a woman. You go all you date with them, and then here they go. You got something on your hands because the individual that you're dealing with has an evil intent, and then there they go. You
Mm-hmm.
think you're just on a date. You think you're just helping somebody. You think you're just being nice, and there they go, taking that vulnerability to the next building, and they have an intent to cause you harm. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? So these possibilities are out there. That's why I make it my business to be the scariest in the room. No, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
Exactly.
not. We're
Exactly.
not. You know what I mean? And for being nice, like the last group that you had, every story that I've heard where individuals were lurking, right? What they say, the lion He
Mm-hmm.
goes to and fro, looking, seeking whom he may devour. Every story that I've heard with a near incidents like that, someone has been nice to them
Yep.
beyond everyone else's ignorance, been nice
Mm-hmm.
to them, showed them the love of God, and that was the only thing that saved their life.
Wow. And my thing is, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely 110% right. But there's also the other side of the coin where the nice person ended up finding their end. There's and I say that about the church in Charleston when a young man went in there to have prayer service with them. They were nice to him. They let him come into the church, let him sit there. And by the end of the service, he was killing everybody in the building. Man, you got all kind of stuff going on. Ryan, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
What up, though? How you
What's going
doing?
on? Hey, doing good, doing good. Ryan, we're talking about how many times how often do we overlook the important people in our lives is what we're talking about right now. Basically, what we're talking about, if you have, and not you particular, but if you have an extra bedroom in your house, and you know that Mr. Charlie or or Sister Sarah is in a situation where they're getting kicked out of their homes, they for whatever reason they're getting kicked out of their home. Miss Sarah got a couple of kids. You know that they need a place to stay. How many people do you think would actually invite or open up their homes, that empty bedroom that they're not using, for them to come in and live there, either Mr. Charlie or Sister Sarah?
Yeah. I'm gonna say not too many.
Wow, wow.
Um, for me, I guess in my life, it just depends on the individual. Um, Depends on how well I know the individual.
Mm-hmm.
If it's somebody that I've known, a good number of years, no question. Um, I feel kind of funny even saying that, because just last year when our power went out in the middle of January for a week,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the Arctic wasteland up here.
Yeah.
my my close friend now, we only knew him briefly, couple
Mm-hmm.
months, and that's because of my son. But they're from Germany, and they
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Just come stay with us."
Wow.
Open the
Wow.
whole house up.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me an alarm code.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But
Wow.
it's I don't know. Maybe he understood, or I guess maybe we had some sort of divine intervention in that
Mm-hmm.
thing, because our kids, they hung out all the time over a year. We just never really took the time to get to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that was our kids that did that for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm very cautious. I've had too many scares and burns letting people that have been going through troubles. I've tried to help people. I
Mm-hmm.
let them come in and they disrupt my home.
Wow.
Let
Wow.
the kids tear things up because they don't manage their children. So I don't know. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard thing to allow, especially a family,
Mm-hmm.
to come into your personal space. It's the right thing to do,
Yeah.
depending on the individual, for sure. But you got to be cautious. You can't just blindly do stuff like that. It doesn't. Sometimes it just don't work out. You have your whole family laid up in the bed on the next case of unsolved mysteries.
Wow. Oh, wow. And I'm gonna ask a very unfair question of you right now, Ryan. In that situation, and the kids running around, they tearing up stuff, tearing up your stuff. What is more important? What do you think people will look at as being more important? Not necessarily you personally, but what do you think people will look at as being more important? The stuff that the kids are tearing up, or giving them the individual a place to stay to get them off the street?
So the good person in you would say giving them a place to stay,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
if you got an open room, it's not costing you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it may come out your pocket a little bit on the electric, a little bit on the water, depending on if you got to help feed them or not, might hit you there. But then there's that selfish side where, you know how hard I work for that stuff, and you just letting your kids tear up my place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We gonna have to draw a line in the sand somewhere. You gonna have
Man,
to respect my place.
y'all gotta go, man. Y'all tearing up everything, man. Man, y'all gotta
Yeah.
go. Go where?
You done had a good night's rest. You nice and warm. You got to go. Have a nice day.
Wow. And that's how a lot of people would think. Truth of the matter, that's how a lot of people would view this whole situation. You tearing up my stuff, man. Y'all got to go, man. Y'all tearing up too much around here, man. I don't work so hard to get this stuff. Oh man, not my
Then
vape. Oh,
you got the other side of the coin too, Raheem, where you sit down with that family,
mhm,
especially the parents. Hey, listen, I don't mind helping you out, but
mhm,
you're gonna have to have a discussion with your kids about tearing up my stuff, and then they get offended.
mhm.
Then they want to get offended. Then they can go ahead and see the door for real.
Want to fuss at you in your own house. Wow. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
And the worst thing could happen is for them to say, I ain't going nowhere.
Mm. Now we got
Now we got
a problem. Now we got a problem. Now the problem starts. Okay.
Because I'd be like, oh, yeah, you going.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the drama in there. You got the police coming because somebody's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't live there. Man, Raheem, I don't know why you started off with that because it's hard helping Mr. Charlie
Mm-hmm.
when Charlie got a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie's friend is a scammer. Or he got some issues because, oh God, man, Raheem.
Come on.
They got people that look at your children kind of sideways.
Mm.
And then Lord have mercy.
See.
Now you got to go on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Or the offense rather, not defense. You don't want to get on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be on the offense.
Yeah.
Because I'm like this. Before you do me something, I'm gonna have to hurry up and do something to you as quick as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Take you out before you take me out.
Exactly.
Especially take my children out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to. I mean, you know what? These days it's different. It's just different. I mean, we live in a selfish society.
Yes, we do.
That because we live in a selfish society, we got to be careful about being a helper.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would love to be able to do like my dad. I remember him doing. We had to give up our bed for people that just pass it through.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, I'm hot as a firecracker.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't understand what he was doing. But that was back then.
Better not say nothing though.
No, we wouldn't say nothing. we would just sleep on the floor. No, matter of fact, when we were coming up, out of a big family like I had, we had the girls' room and the boys' room.
Mm-hmm.
And mom and them room.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you had. Mom and dad's room, the girls' room, and the boys' room. Not your room, our room.
Mm-hmm.
We had a room in the house when we were coming up. We had, I think it must have been a one either queen or full size bed, and a bunk bed.
Mm-hmm.
2 single beds. We would switch it up. We would redecorate our room and make it.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
But we had extra bed. We call that when people had guests, we had extra bed.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to rearrange the living quarters to have somebody come in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But these people, our society that we come up in, we got laws that protect people in your house.
Wow.
Did I say something wrong? Did I say something wrong?
No, sir. Keep going.
Because it's easy to get them in. To getting them out is the thing.
Mm.
Because you got to give them you got to give them a notice, 30-day notice.
To get
What?
them, to get them out of your house.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
You rent them. If you have something that you're renting and they tearing it up, you can't just put them. You can't just put them out. I don't think. In some
No,
states you might be able to.
no, no, no. You got to go through that process. You got to go through that whole
You got
process.
to go through the process.
Yeah, yeah.
And they get mad, and then they pull all the lights out.
Mm-hmm. Bust holes in your
You
walls.
ever? I know of somebody that when they had to evict somebody, they took all the light bulbs out of every
Mm.
room.
Wow.
This was spite. You ever saw somebody move on the weekend?
Yeah, yeah. That's how they
Why
get
they
that.
move on the weekend?
Hey, that's how they slick you. That's how they slick you right there. That's how they slick you.
They move they move on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We was coming up when we was coming up, and they had somebody moving. I guess on the Sunday we had at the church, and my dad, he was so crazy. My dad was so crazy. He say, "Hey, the junkyard the other way."
Lord, Lord. Lord. Let me go to Toy Tucson. You acting up. Toy, you with a T talk to me, sis.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. The laws protect the criminals too, and the
Yeah,
scammers.
exactly.
It's
Exactly.
unfortunate. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
you could step pinky toe in my house and have a bag and put it on the other side of the threshold, and then I'm gonna have to fight with you 30 days
Yeah.
according
Get you
to
out
the
of there.
law to
Mm-hmm.
get you out my. That didn't I just say? That's why I make sure I'm the scariest one in the room. I'm not finna wait on no law. You finna get up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Promise you that. It's gonna be so comfortable in that house with you. You're not gonna be able to withstand the things that's going on. So nah, I'm good, officer. I'm gone. Cause we're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
play them games. We're not gonna nah, I'm not bound by no law to be listening to you. You finna leave here today. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's another reason why we gotta be careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
another reason why sometimes it's not about doing things thinking you're a Christian. It's not about that. It's about doing things when God says so.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get yourself in trouble talking about you doing something. Oh, cause you're a Christian. Oh, you being fake. Cause sometimes
Mm-hmm.
the Lord will be telling you not to do something, and you so busy trying to do it because you're trying to prove to somebody else you're a Christian, and you're gonna be in a whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
Did the
Mm-hmm.
Lord tell you to do that? Did the Lord tell you to pick that person up, that stranger? Cause that's the only way you're supposed to be doing that. Cause
Mm-hmm.
he'll put it on your heart. Stop, pull over, listen, talk, uh, bring up my name. When it's a connection with him, you know it. So don't be
Yeah.
going all out the way trying to do some extra, trying to be extra. And
Mm-hmm.
God is not telling you what to do because the thing about being a Christian is being obedient, not making up your own thing, doing your own thing, thinking, oh, yeah, I'm doing this because you're trying to show off.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be in a whole situation instead of
Mm-hmm.
trying to be obedient to the Lord. Trust me, the Lord didn't have to get on me a couple of times because I'm thinking I'm doing something because I'm being Christian. He's like, you need to listen to what I tell you to do. And nobody,
Mm-hmm. You
you
trying to
going
you trying to be seen.
you feel me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't tell you to help that person. I might
Mm-hmm.
have something in the specific for that person, and you finna mess it up because you're trying to help somebody instead of helping who I tell you to help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we can take an awful turn and go wrong. Sometimes we can step outside of the realm of the angels and get ourselves in a whole situation because we're not being obedient.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the background of the world. That's that spiritual dimension, that fifth dimension, spiritual dimension we be talking about,
Yep.
where things are already done. And then
Mm-hmm.
here you come, want to do things out of your own control, and whoop, there's an open door.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be very careful with some of the actions that we're making, some of the things that we're choosing to do. Because I mean, Everybody tempted. Everybody know how the devil tempted Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to be able to know who's coming for you, who's looking for you, who's trying to get you to do something that doesn't coincide with the good that you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously, picking up somebody from a nightclub, I doubt it.
Wow.
Nope, nope. But
Mhm.
seeing a single mother with two kids in front of a gas station, probably so now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm.
A big grown rusty man talking about he need a ride from me, not gonna happen.
Mm.
If
Wow.
I walk, you can walk.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wow.
a older lady in her 70s, kind of crunched over, struggling with a push cart, I just might.
You,
And she got to sit up in the front too, because she can catch that side jaw too. If she thinks she gonna do something to me, it don't make no difference who you is. I'm not gonna let you hurt me, but I'm
Lord.
going to try to scan for who is the less likely to probably be playing a game of wickedness, trying to catch me out there, trying to get me to help them. So at the end of the day, if we listen to be obedient, we gonna be all right. I'm not saying we can't help people, but we
That,
need to
that's
be
what
trying to help who God say help.
that's why God don't get no points for somebody beating up an old 70-year-old crunched over lady. Now you don't get no points for that. That's why
Not that, hey, he said eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, right?
you
Didn't he say that for a tooth? So her eye and her tooth is open to the same shot that she just tried to jab at me. So
Lord.
long as grandma don't pull no punches, I won't be pulling no punches back. I'm just saying.
Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm just happy to see another day of existence. How everybody doing?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you, brother. We talking about how many important people do we overlook in our lives, and we reference it to this right here. Rico, and when I say you, I'm not talking about you in particular, but I'm just using it as an example. You have an extra room in your house, and you know that Mr. Charlie had just gone through a bad situation, got evicted, or Miss Sarah, she's got evicted from her house, and Miss Sarah actually have two kids. How many people do you know of that would open up their house, open up they're an extra room? They're not using this room at all. It's just sitting there. How many people will open up their house and allow Mr. Charlie or Miss Sarah to come in and utilize that room?
Well, hold up. First, I got to go back and ask, is that still related to what you were saying about overlooking important people?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are they important? Or are they just somebody in need?
Um,
Important to you? How? I mean, what you mean important?
well, I mean, people that are important in your particular life, people that you know of, that you've been known for a long time. See, Mr. Charlie, use him as an example. You've been knowing Mr. Charlie for years. Mr. Charlie, y'all are very close. But when Mr. Charlie get into the situation, how many people would say, would voice the words, man, before he got in that situation, man, if you ever need me, man, just give me a call. And Mr. Charlie found himself in a situation. How many people can he really call?
Oh yeah, man. Man, it
People say
might
that all the
be
time.
slim.
Mm-hmm.
It might be slim. Because a lot of times people just talk because they like to hear how they sound.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So people will say stuff just because it sounds good. Yeah, call me if you need me. I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're ever in trouble, and they ain't got to work 2 cents.
Exactly.
Hey,
Exactly.
come on, let's go into this venture together, man. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
thought about you. We
Mm-hmm.
be the perfect person that they don't call you back.
Yep.
They just talking because they sound good.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it would be very few people. But then at the same time, uh,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you may open your door at the wrong time because people are taking advantage of your kindness.
Yep. Yep.
Sometimes you might be weak and not use the right discernment because it ain't got nothing to do with you really just being a Christian, but you just looking try to find a way to say I did something good. So if your main focus is to try to do something good because you want to get in the heaven, I just need to do something good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes somebody might take advantage of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard Toya say that about the woman with the children. Man, I done seen so many videos where women were busted for using their children as pawns or part of the prop to scam people out of money.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
were just like the men that was on the little skateboard that had their legs folded up on them pretending to be legless.
Yep.
Some of these women will pretend to be homeless and children struggling, and then you see them walk across the 5 or 6 parking lots to a Mercedes,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been, busted out on video. So people will take advantage of your kindness.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's somebody important to you or somebody that you've known, hopefully you're familiar with them enough to understand that to understand whether or not they're the cause of their own demise.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to throw a life raft to somebody that when you get them on that lifeboat, they got a knife to sink your boat too.
Yep. Yep.
Because
Wow.
it could be very self-destructive. You don't want to invite somebody into your house that got behaviorally dysfunctional kids and they don't know how to control them, and the only thing they know how to do is sit back and shake. They say, he, I don't know what I'm going to do about that, boy. Make them sit down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He walk around
Exactly.
here kicking and slamming stuff and acting like he ain't never been in nobody's house before, and you hear him doing this. He messing up my house. Make him sit down. He
Mm-hmm.
embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that, boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
You take them home. That's what
Mm-hmm.
you do. Get them up out of here. You see, my house wasn't looking like this before you came in. This stuff wasn't in the floor.
Mm-hmm.
My
Exactly.
stuff is in order. So yeah, you really have to ask yourself the reason why you're doing it, and then so also look and see if these people are the ones that are self-sabotaging themselves. Because a lot of people self-sabotage themselves, and no matter how much you got to help them or how much you got to give them good advice, they already know better, but they're
Mm-hmm.
weak to the flesh, and so they just out of it. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna say behaviorally dysfunctional, confused, or just flat out corrupt.
Good deal. Good deal. Ryan, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, everybody hitting it.
Mm-hmm.
Same points really. Just the kids tearing up stuff. They casing your joint.
Wow.
They look at what they can get a 5 finger discount on. You trying to help them, and you won't notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like to look at people and have to play the scale. How you got to weigh your options.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to be like that, but it is.
Mm-hmm. It
It
is.
is.
Sad as it is. Sad. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
like I was reading an article this weekend about squatters,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some stuff up on the hill going on where they're trying to fix these laws on squatting, and what their concern is a lot of these people coming across illegally. If they figure out the squatters' rights, we're gonna have a problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they've been making a big stink about that. And I've seen some crazy stuff with squatters.
Wow.
They just get up inside somebody's crib, and because that person was on vacation for a certain amount of time or whatever, you know, oh well, I've been here, ain't nobody come home. It's mine now.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And I don't know, man. Like, imagine helping somebody out in a jam and then all of a sudden losing everything because
Mm-hmm.
you try to be nice. And
Mm-hmm.
that's one of those things that plays on our heartstrings and in our minds, right? Because we're supposed to do the right thing, supposed to help people out. But then we end up getting the raw deal to be nice about the words I use.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm gonna share this. Y'all know I gotta be silly every now and then. We're gonna switch up on the topic too. But I saw this clip on it was on Facebook, quite funny. Guy said he wrote it out, and he said that he was going into the store one day, McDonald's, somewhere like that, one of the restaurants, and he was gonna go get him something to eat, and he saw a homeless guy sitting sitting to the side over there, had a little board and all kind of stuff. He was just sitting there. So he went up to the guy and said, "Man, you hungry?" They had a little conversation. "Are you hungry?" "Yeah, yeah. Come on, man. I got you, man. I got you." Took him inside, man, and ordered all kind of stuff. And he ordered what he wanted. Told the man to order what he wanted. Took out his card and put his card in the little ATM in the little machine and everything to pay for it, and it declined. Man said, "Oh man, ain't no way in the world. No, this ain't right." Stuck another card in there. It declined. took it out, and he looked at the homeless guy. The homeless guy looked at him and said, "Man, don't worry about it. Let's go back out here, man. Somebody gonna help us." He said, somebody gonna buy us something to eat. That was funny to me, man. Y'all to get it later on. But Tucson, I see you over there, Ryan. Yeah, that was funny to me too, brother. That was funny. Tucson, you there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tucson, I'm gonna ask you. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, I get it. Go ahead.
I want to add, and a lot of time people will say that they are the same, but I think it's totally different. I'm gonna preface it by saying that right there. I think they're totally different. And a lot of people are gonna say, "Well, it's the same thing. It's the same." It really isn't. But what is more dangerous? What is more in your eyes, Tucson? What is more dangerous? A racist person or a racist system?
Isn't it the racist person that creates the racist system?
Well, let me say that. See, I knew people, somebody's gonna say it was the same, and that's a very valid point. But at the same time, I could sit down with a racist person, and if we talk long enough, or we connect, if we connect long enough, I could change the racist person's mind or way of thinking in regards to how they think about certain individuals. They could have been burned by somebody that don't look like them, that maybe look like me. Could have been burned by somebody. They say, I don't trust none of them. Black, white, orange, polka dot, whatever people. I don't trust them no more. And become a racist person in that regard. But if I sit down and talk to them, or we sit down and have a conversation, I could probably change the way they think. They say, I actually didn't like people like you, man, but you all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. So I would say the system. Racist system, because you got so many avenues or departments in the system to go through to get a solution. It's almost impossible to find the source. They created it. They created the system. We still are trying to figure out. Let me just throw this out here for free. I'm not interested in getting it because it's almost impossible now. But the promise of the 40 acres and the mule, the system never did give.
Yeah.
They promised it. And then there's a system to build on this. Let me see, hold on a second before I say that. Since we got 2 more days in our historical moment to celebrate.
Watch this. What? Hold on. We actually got 3. This is leap year. We got 3 this year. We got 3 more days. Ooh, bless their heart.
Wait a minute. Let me look. Oh, what is it? 29th day.
Yes, sir.
In February. I'm going. Let me look.
Well, bless them.
Wow. Ain't that something?
We
can extend it to 1 day to recognize what has happened in the lives of people in history. So, the system that was created to establish what we say and most think and acknowledge to be one of the most powerful nations in the world. The system created, it was a system established to form a more perfect union. Lord have mercy. That's a lie.
A more perfect union. We the people in order to form a perfect union.
And then we talk about the Constitution that says that all men are created equal. That's a system that established some people as what, 3/10? What?
Yeah. 3/5. 3/5.
3/5. Animals treat us like dogs and cats. But you got a great nation. You got a great nation. So is that the racist system that we talk about, let me ask you a question and I'll shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Are we establishing liberty and justice?
No. No. Okay. Ryan, what do you say to that, man? What is more dangerous, a racist person or a racist system?
Hmm, that's a tough question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that in the grand scheme of things, probably the system,
Mm-hmm.
because the system holds the power.
Mm-hmm.
A racist person can be dealt with, and most racist individuals they don't really say much
Mm-hmm.
because they're the extreme minority, right? But the system is what perpetuates the cycle. The system is what holds up and supports these individuals and their methodologies, right? So I would say the system. The system is what needs to be fixed. The system is what creates uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Creates avenues
Mm-hmm.
for these people to duck and dodge and hide and fulfill the evilness inside of them. So that's what I got to say about that.
Okay. Toya, let's see. What do you say? What is more dangerous, a racist person or a racist system?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with the system,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I'm not mad if you're a racist.
Mm-hmm.
You can, you have the right, God-given right to not like whatever it is you don't want to like. Does not reflect that you're a believer of the real God, but you got the right to do that. So I'm not mad at you for that.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the system runs through, over and under, everywhere. It helps run and control, helps utilize whoever is operating it. It uses that energy as an input to make choices and decisions when it's within the system. So, of course, if you're going to utilize the system, you're kind of talking about as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, we can't do that because it's going to be biased.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't. You know what I'm saying? But an individual, absolutely. You can get mad. You can fold your hands. You can stomp your feet right wherever your little isolated area is. Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All 14, 12, or 17 of y'all. Y'all. Hey, I'm not gonna take that from you. But
Mm-hmm.
when you utilize and you monitor and you show that type of behavior, and that's cool with you, you cannot operate the system. You cannot operate within the system. You cannot be a leader in that system because 9 times out of 10, you're going to help create that system to be a bias. So, yes, absolutely. The system, a racist system, is far worse than just a racist individual or group or county or city or even state. It could be three
Wow.
states,
Wow.
it could
Mm-hmm.
be 4 states out of the 51, 52, 54, however many we got, doesn't matter, but the system as a whole, no, we can't afford to have that to be utilized as racist as it's been utilized as it's been utilized as the system was created upon racist tendencies, and even constitutionally when you really dig and it says um, black people being considered that 3/5 of a person clause.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Come on. Wow.
It
Wow.
wasn't really utilized, and the system really wasn't woven to treat us fairly and to give us all of those constitutional so-called rights that are still just created by humans,
Mm-hmm.
a specific group of humans that all of them might not have been racist, but hey, I mean, if the majority rules, that's what you're gonna roll with. But the system is absolutely more powerful than just the person.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico, what do you say is more powerful? What is more powerful and harmful? A racist person or a racist system?
That's an easy question. That's like saying was more harmful, a military or one man with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that system is meant to impact societies. Systems are built from ideologies and plans with an ulterior motive.
Mm-hmm.
And those those ideologies, ideals are supposed to spread like a virus to
Mm-hmm.
have an ulterior end. And so, you can take that ideology and it may have been originated from one man, and that man could be dead and gone 100 years, and that ideology still exists in that system, and it can work.
Mm-hmm.
Look at us,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
not just the human race, you know what I'm saying, but black people, women. We do a lot of things that support systems that work against us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, every common every common citizen in the United States can be very aware of all these different systems in place that they don't agree with, but they're so hooked on consumption that they'll still end up benefiting those same systems because it's some part of that system that they just can't avoid. They hooked on it,
Mm-hmm.
especially as consumers. We complain about the 1%, the powers that be. They won't do this, they won't do that. But at the same time, there are so many other systems in place to make sure that they maintain their power, which is their ulterior motive,
Mm-hmm.
that we still end up participating in buying water, buying electricity, not using solar panels because if we don't, they're gonna fine us or put us in jail. So many different things that we should have the natural right to do. We'll let these people make us conform to not doing for ourselves and being dependent on them. That's a good plan. That's a good system. So yeah, you could kill that one racist person, but 200 years later, that racist person can have a system in place that exists that has all of mankind out of order,
Mm-hmm.
all of a society out of order and confused, not knowing which way is up. Once again, benefiting that system. I made a comment to you yesterday about black people making the racist system succeed,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll continue to make it succeed as long as we keep on trying to follow along or achieve that illusion of the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sooner or later, we'll do like some other communities, like the Amish, that they don't succeed in that system because they know that system is not meant for them to succeed in, but they survive in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They already know that they have the knowledge that they would never succeed in that system because that system ain't meant for them to succeed in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll kill you first.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't
Wow.
meant for a black man to be atop the Forbes list.
Mm-hmm.
They'll kill you first. They're gonna take it first. So the
Mm-hmm.
best thing you could do is get rid of your delusion of achieving or succeeding in the American dream and pick up the reality that we need to survive in this system
Yeah. Yeah.
until we could destroy it.
Mm-hmm. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. The phone line's open. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Tucson, talk to me, brother. Tucson, you
If
there?
it's a system,
Yeah.
yeah, I got it. I
Mm-hmm.
got it before you said something. I knew you was coming. If
Yes,
it's a
sir.
system,
Mm-hmm.
how can you find the who, what, when, where, and how?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We've been searching for who created the system since I was born, and my mama was born, my daddy was born, and my great grandmother was born, and we still trying to um figure it out. I guess. Who are these first, the most powerful 5 families in the world?
There's a few of them.
Yeah. That when the rubber meets the road, it's really about them,
Mm-hmm.
and they always end up on the top of the food chain. I'm talking about them takers
Mm-hmm.
that will annihilate anybody to get what they want. That system, that I don't even know that we would even say that is racist, but it ain't right
Mm-hmm.
because some people that look like us pride themselves in working within that system.
Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. It benefits them.
Mm-hmm. Benefits them.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got
Mm-hmm.
some on in our jobs, in our workforce, in our government, on the police force,
Mm-hmm.
doctors, lawyers, judges
Mm-hmm.
that have an agenda that is against you
Wow.
at all costs.
Wow.
They poor. They're not even. They're not even. You know they got racist black folks
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
against racists against their own kind.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know they got destructive. I'm just saying, people in your neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
that have and I don't mean no harm by saying this,
Say it.
but what we see as a white agenda,
Mm.
and they're not white,
Mm. Wow.
and they're more dangerous than supremacists
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because they walk among you
Yeah.
and they
Mm-hmm.
look like you and they almost act like you until
Mm-hmm.
your situation gets funny to them.
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's the other part when I'll shut my mouth and they have the audacity to do it in the name of Jesus.
Mm. Mm. Talk to me, Ryan. Talk to me, brother.
Sorry, I had to step away for a second. Where we on?
Same thing. Same thing.
Really, it's not much more to add from my perspective. Like,
How can you and you said it was the system. How do you debunk that system?
how do you debunk it?
Yeah. How do you kill that system?
Hmm. How do you kill that system? You remove the old, tired uh, people who stay there for all of eternity.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put in limitations on how much time they get to spend because those old people that are up there, and you know I'm old too, but they a little older than me by a lot. But they gotta go
Mm-hmm.
because they have mastered, in my opinion, they've mastered the art of lying, the art of subterfuge. They've
Except.
mastered it. Deception, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They've mastered this to a point to where they can tell you straight to your face what's on their mind, and to you it sounds like a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Mm-hmm.
masterful at
Right,
this. Yeah.
right. Before you go too far, man, I think this would be the perfect time for you to not mention the name, but we had to talk about a certain human resource manager you got that has seemed to adapted a certain management mindset. She's bought into a system, and she told you that you'd be better off if you adopted that system.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rico and I had a phone call between the two of us probably a week or so ago. If you remember, I told you I was up for a promotion.
Yes.
So all of the people in my mind that mattered were gun ho. But I
Mm-hmm.
have uh, a business partner in the HR section who decided that, wasn't my time.
Wow.
And she really doesn't have much play in the field, but she started saying some things that made me feel like I was discriminated against.
Mm.
She is a person of color,
Okay.
and Enrico and I talked about this at I mean, probably like 2, 3 hours
Mhm. Mhm.
because the things that she had said to me was like, wow, what in the world is going on here?
Mhm.
And she told me that hard work doesn't pay off, basically.
Wow.
You can't go to work and learn everything you got to do at work and expect to move up the food chain. I can't carry on like I carry on with my employees and expect to move up the food chain. I have to adopt this certain mindset of cut and dry because the way I talk to you all is how I talk on a daily basis with everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I over explain is what she said. Or I'll take off and go down certain avenues to explain things at a level that every person that I encounter can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. And to her, that's unacceptable.
Mm.
I have to be cut and dry. I have to adopt that. Trying to remember what Rico said, but for lack of a better word, a slave master mentality
Wow. Wow.
where I've got to be cut and dry with you, and that's it. Get straight to the point. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter that you're a human being and you need to understand.
Wow.
And this
Mm.
is the same person that if I were to say, your hair is nice today, she would take an offense to that.
Mm.
But on the same token, she'll look at another person that looks just like her and berate them. You
Mhm.
shouldn't even give that person the time of day. Look at how their hair is done.
Mhm.
But if I were to say something like that to her, the gloves would be off
Mhm.
and I'd be fired for being a racist piece of garbage.
Wow. Wow.
So it's those type of systematic functions where people get in and they adopt certain things and they perpetuate that cycle and they don't even realize that they're perpetuating that cycle, and she's black.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Toya,
it,
what do you
it
hear?
totally messed me up.
Yeah. 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 Wow. Toya, what do you hear? Toya, you there? Toya with a T.
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you hear?
I mean, what do you mean? What do I hear?
And what Ryan just said?
I didn't
Yes.
hear what Warren
Oh,
just said.
you stepped away for a second. Okay. We still we actually we're going to switch up. We're going to change the topic again. I got a couple of things I want to talk about today, but right now we're talking about what is more dangerous, what is more harmful, a racist person or a racist system. And if you say it's a racist system, how do we end that whole system? How do we get away from that system and start living in a more positive side of things?
Well, yeah, of course. In order to change the system, you got to change the people in it.
Mm-hmm.
I did hear the beginning part of long terms. I heard something about that, like doing long terms. If you already been in there 30 years and you wanted them from that, I'm talking about right now today.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in this system for the last 30 years as a commissioner or governor or mayor or whatever, and you've been there for 30 years in that same spot. It's a little bit too long. Generations have turned over several times.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there probably need to be some kind of cap on how long these terms are or these people are allowed to go. You know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even a ending age difference because that has a lot to do. if all of those racist persons are all in charge of that one system, right? But we're not saying throw away the system. We're saying throw away the racism in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Make it fair for everybody. The system we cool with. It's the racism in it that we don't want. So that
Exactly.
means we have to now change some of the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
We have to now change some of the roots of this tree we got going over here. So yeah, it's a lot of these major corporations that are going to have to be removed. A lot of these older people who are in different positions of authority that they need to be replaced with fresher, newer people in that system in order to change it. So could it be right around the corner that getting ready to happen? Possibly, because whether we like it or not, whether you change the rules or the age gaps or not, some of these people are about to start dying off.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you this. And I love what you said, but let me ask you this. Do you think because the older generation is passing on, do you think that's going to kill the racist mentality or the racist system? Or can some of the young people continue it?
I mean, I think some of it, right? I mean, it's like look at how far we've gotten with the LGBTQ.
Mm-hmm.
So there were some people generations they would have never thought they saw that, but because some of those have died off, some of those fresh new faces got up in there, and now it's acceptable. Look at where we at.
Mm-hmm.
So over the next 20 years, and yeah, I expect more of these things that we use that we didn't used to do, didn't used to believe in. Some of these people are going to proceed, go into office or positions of power, and things are just going to change. There are going to be more things that we used to not accept because these are going to be newer, younger people who are falling away from some of the old traditional ways. Yeah, I think we should expect to see some things change, and that means that yes, some more racist techniques and tactics that we were once using are going to shed away. But I do think that they're just going to be replaced with other more probably extreme things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Rico, what do you say to that? Do you think because some of the older old heads, if you will, are dying off, and younger people are coming into office, do you think that's going to change the system, or do you think they're just going to continue what is there? Are their mindsets that different?
Answer, I answered the question the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You could kill off Robert E. Lee and all these other people that died hundreds of years ago, and people still believe in that ideology.
Mm-hmm.
It just evolved into the new systems that exist today and
Mm-hmm.
infiltrated those systems. Why? To continue to maintain that control.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man, sometimes we really just have to just sit back and look at the simple side of things. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it cracked me up when people say these old races dying, these old races dying. Well, what about the old race that died 100 years before I was born, and then what we still dealing with?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
somewhere you got to understand that the system and the cycle is real. You
Mm-hmm.
just got to that you just can't say it because it sounds good, but you got to realize it. And so then you start doing that. You Okay, you know what? This past Friday, I went and had an epidural. Every time I get that epidural, man, they give me something that knocks me out,
Mm-hmm.
makes me unconscious and oblivious to everything that goes on around me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have to wake up. When I become conscious again, I realize what has happened. So that, to me, when they took the word conscious and woke and flipped it to mean something different, they made people feel like it was a negative thing. But see, the thing is, you have to become conscious of the system that exists. And you realize once again, like we all said the first time, the system is more dangerous because it could keep going way after the person that came up with the system is
Yep.
dead and gone because
Exactly.
it succeeds.
Mm-hmm.
So now, as the person that is in this system, you have to understand or recognize the part you may play and participate in supporting the system that makes it successful. And when you start looking at what makes the system succeed, which might be patriotism, it might be democracy, it
Mm-hmm.
might be capitalism,
Mm-hmm.
it might be economic success. We have to understand the part that we play in making this system continue to succeed, and then start making sacrifices. Whoa, that means you got to give up some things that you really like,
Mm-hmm.
that you really may feel like you need or that you want, that you're addicted to.
Yep.
But see, some people don't want to let you say, because you asked that question, how do you make it in?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you make it in. You wake up and you discover how you are making it successful. How am I participating in this system and is working against my own best interests or the best interests of my people? Am I trying to succeed in a system that really and truly creates more poverty? I mean, how many times does a person have to realize that if they keep raising the price of something, if you leave it on the shelf and don't buy it, they're gonna have to drop the price.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that will take you to sacrifice your desire to obtain or possess this thing that they're hanging over your head, this crack that they're selling you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's lotion that they make with aborted babies. I mean, we got all this, oh, don't eat GMOs. They don't grow the food naturally no more. They don't do this no more. Everything is bad. But how much have you sacrificed?
Mm-hmm.
Gas going up. How much walking you done did?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How much waste are you still contributing? How much are you still making these people that are ripping us off successful because you continue to participate in the system that exists? Because you lazy, you convenient, and you like being a consumer. You don't understand this thing about producers and consumers. So
Mm-hmm.
it's easy, man. The question ain't that hard. How do you make it crumble? Quit
Mm-hmm.
participating in it.
Yeah.
Quit making it successful. How do you
Mm-hmm.
make it successful? You're making it successful by participating. I mean, when you wasting money, buy what's necessary. Don't use credit card. Don't take the bait on reward points to use credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but some people will say that they only use credit cards in emergency, but now you get points and get free flights and cruises and concerts. We
Mm-hmm.
keep taking bait. They keep on giving us different bait that we just bite and grab onto. So they don't put so many gardens of life out there, and so many apples don't fall from the tree that everybody want to pull from the tree.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
love that bait, the temptation. So you have to sacrifice, man. That is the only and the plain and simple way to destroy that system. And that system, that's once again, that is the genius of it. You know, if you read Dr. Francis Chris Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
and she talk about influence and the impact on society and control, you know, that's how you break it. You realize these systems exist, identify the part that you play in it to make it succeed, and then make a resilient and willing effort to create you some standards and sacrifice some of these things that you do that you make it successful. Do a little
Mm-hmm.
more walking.
Mm-hmm.
Don't drive to that store that's 3 blocks away. Walk to it like your ancestors did. Use your
We
cell phone in case of emergency. Keep a landline. You know, there's so many different things that we could do that will make some of the things that they produce unsuccessful because we don't buy it. They sit on the shelf.
mm-hmm.
But we are consumers. We are hooked. We are consumer addicts. We are behavioral addicts.
Mm-hmm.
And until everybody realize that they are the reason why the system exists, they really and truly don't understand what a system is.
Exactly. Exactly.
They're just talking. They're just talking loud, and they ain't saying nothing. Or they just talking loud because they like to hear themselves talk. And there's a lot of that go on.
Huffing, puffing, gonna blow the house down. What-
Look at me. Y'all heard
yeah.
what I said. Look what I said. I
Mm-hmm.
liked it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Toussaint, talk to me, brother.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Hey, we gonna put it out
How
there,
much
man.
is
We
that?
put it out there. Come on.
How much is that? How much is that is actually going on?
Mm-hmm.
And we loving it all the way to poverty,
Mm.
making somebody else rich. And we do it over and over and over again. How is it that I can buy 100, 200, $300 shoes and I can't read
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and I'm struggling to pay my light bill, borrowing the light bill, but wearing got a Gucci purse. Come on now, stop it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Bow.
ain't gonna say what I said. I ain't gonna say what I was finna say because I don't mean no harm.
Buy what they want
Know
and
what I'm
beg for what they
saying?
need.
But it's offensive
Mm-hmm.
because we don't even look like ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to be Beyonce or somebody. I don't know. I know one thing: we don't have blonde hair.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Say it.
I was doing-
Say it.
And you know, Lord have mercy. You got beautiful eyes, but we can't see them. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's as far as I'm gonna go with that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at your eyelashes, they are long already.
Your hair was long, but now your hair
And
was long,
why do
and
we
now
get
it's short.
offended by correction?
Mm-hmm.
Because we should have not making the money, but we show somebody else is. And remember the saying, "Hurry up and buy, hurry up and buy,
Mm-hmm.
get out of this." I went to the store that the owners moved into the neighborhood, and guy that I grew up went back home, and I when I got to the store, I found out that they had different owners, and the old man had died, whatever the case may be. And one of the guys that was outside of the store asked me to go inside of the store to get him something because he couldn't go in there.
Mm.
What are you doing?
Exactly.
You
Mm-hmm.
can't go into the store,
But you're gonna spend your money in the store.
but you're going to spend your money from the outside
Mm-hmm.
to keep them in business.
What kind of sense that make?
They, I don't know, but it happens every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They escort you off of the property, and you ask somebody across the street to go in that store so you can get something that hurt you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We look like celebrities, but we ain't got nothing.
Mm.
Oh, you sure got a nice car. It looks really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But, excuse me, but your house a mess.
Terrible.
I
Terrible.
ain't gonna no thank you. I'm not hungry. You want
Mhm.
something to eat? I just cooked. Move, cat.
Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I went to somebody's house and he had to, you know, in order to sit out, you had to move the chickens. Come on, man.
Good
Stop
Lord.
it.
Nah, that's okay, man. I'm getting on out of here. I'm getting on out of here. I'm getting on out of here. But yeah, Ryan. That's what we're up against, man. It's a system. It's a system that has to be um fixed. Lack of a better term, fixed. Um, certain things have to be removed from that system. There are certain parts of the Constitution that need to be rewritten, and they've been talking about that for the last umpteen years. We're gonna rewrite it. We're gonna redo it, but it has never happened under many presidents. Why do you think that is, Ryan? Is it that they want the system to stay as it is?
I don't think it does, or looks like that to me.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to rewrite something like that? Like, I understand the thought process, right? But
Yeah.
you're trying to rewrite something that I don't know. Maybe I have a different perspective. Maybe it's the color of my skin. But
Mm-hmm.
when I read those words on that paper or on those papers, uh, I don't find any harm or any ill intent.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of like when you're reading through the Bible or any other religious material for that matter. You can find or make or create ill intent. And I think that some people take things or take words and they change them around to fit their thought process or their narratives, and they
Mhm.
begin to take them and twist things, and they keep twisting until that infection gets in there. And then how do you get rid of an infection that's so far gone? You start talking about destroying it, right? Ending the life, or terminating, or cutting off the limbs, or whatever. And so there's certain, in my mind anyway, a certain subset of people that have grown so power hungry that they've learned how to take these words and twist them to fit their needs and their wants. And that keeps pitting people against each other.
Right. Let me read this. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. Are those is all that factual to you?
No, it's not factual. It's there. The
Hmm.
intent, like I said, the intent is there to do good,
Hmm.
but people have taken it and twisted it.
Hmm.
That's why we have the problems that we have, is because you can take something good and turn it evil.
Hmm.
That's not hard to do. Evil is the more prominent beast on the earth. Good is the small.
Hmm.
In
Okay.
the end, things that are supposed to be truth will be lie, and lie will be truth right in front of your face, right? So I
Now,
feel like, go ahead.
now, the Constitution was written many years ago,
Sure.
and it says, "We the people of the United States of America." In all honesty, was all the people that in the United States of America included under this Constitution?
I believe the intent was for it to include everyone,
Mm. Ryan, I
but
love your
those
heart. I
people,
love your heart, brother. I love your heart, brother.
I know you do. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow on both ends, right? I believe that the intent was there, but
Mm-hmm.
the people who obtained the power were those who were of ill will.
Mm. Okay.
And
Okay.
those are the people that set forth the system, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We can do the back and forth in between and upside down on certain individuals and what they did, but those are people. The words speak true,
Mm-hmm.
and the possibility for them to hold their original meanings is still there. It's never gone away. We just have to find the means to defeat the infection
Mm-hmm.
and make them ring true.
Though I do understand what you're saying, but I also have I look at both sides of the coin, and I have to be realistic with myself when I'm having these conversations. And I don't think that African Americans at that African American Black people, however they were referred to during that time, Negro, whatever they preferred to at that time, was included in this Constitution of the United States of America. I don't think they was looking at. I think they was looking at certain individuals, but omitted other individuals that look like myself out of these words of the Constitution of the United States of America. That's just me. I could be totally wrong. Toy you with a T. What do you say to that? Toy, you there? Toya, wake up and go. There she go. There she go. Toya, talk to me. I thought she was there. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
So do we have a, let's say it like this, when was that wrote? And have we established a more perfect union yet?
No.
Are those statements outdated? Need to be revamped everything is outdated. I mean, updated every once in a while. You have to relook at it and see what you can do with
It,
the society that you live in, the
a
present society.
A Tucson. It was signed September the 17th, 1787.
Nothing changed since then.
Wow.
Hmm?
Mm.
Hasn't anything changed since 17 what?
17. I think what I say 87, 1787. Yeah.
Well, 77. Nothing's changed since then.
Mm-hmm.
Those people, like Rico was saying, some of them were Confederates
Mm-hmm.
with that mindset. I guess that's what they're talking about when they say "Make America Great Again." Is that great they talking about,
Wow.
or this great we talking about?
Mm.
Over 3,000 years, 300 years. I mean, which one am I saying? 300 years? Is 300 years? I can't add.
Mm-hmm. It's
For
been
the sake of argument, help me out.
Okay.
Since I'm trying to make a point,
Mm-hmm.
and I got my math wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Just so happens I got my math wrong. But for hundreds of years, I know that something had to change, and this 2024 don't look like 1776 or 77 or 78 or
1787.
1888.
Mm-hmm. They
We
saying
have evolved into something else.
the calculator saying it's
Well, I have
237 years.
okay, all right, 237 years. And you mean to tell me this society is not in a predicament where we need to go and revisit those statements and change some stuff and include some people rather than excluding some people that were once looked at as property. And now they are citizens trying to also form a perfect union. Just saying, I might not be too bright, but I ain't stupid.
Mm-hmm. Pamela on Facebook said nothing has changed. She says nothing has
Ain't that
changed.
sad?
And the phone lines are open 508-924-3521.
Right.
Yes.
You mean to tell me I know my time is up, but is that a true statement?
That nothing.
When you say nothing has changed, is it saying that we're still like we were in 1777?
Good
Nothing's
question.
changed. Is that a sad situation? So that means you're doing the same thing, looking for different results, and they say that's insanity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Talk to me, Rico. Talk to me, brother.
That is February 26, 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And we live in a day and time right now where women are selling themselves and pimping themselves online for money.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, well, ain't nothing wrong with it because they making plenty of money. See, when they wrote that, at the time, America was trying to establish itself, be recognized as a real country, legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
But it hadn't got to the point where it could be recognized, so it had to come into the organization phase. And in some of them cases, some people really did mean the words, and then in some cases, people just said the words because they needed to get their agenda across to accomplish an ulterior motive, which is the establishment and the independence of the United States and its government.
Mm-hmm.
So, with some of those people that agreed, that really did stand on it and know that they meant that for every human that was in the United States, and then some that already had ulterior motives to say, man, this is just for us. We don't acknowledge them as equals to us. They started seeing something was working. Something actually started working and making America successful and recognized as a true power. Some system worked in America that made it an economic power and a war power. Some system was in place that made them progress to the point of where they really were a functioning company, and it was slavery. And
Come
so
on.
when something works for you and you benefit from it and you see a reward from it, sooner or later you won't see nothing wrong with it. It'll be coming. Oh, that was just the way it was back then. Ain't that something? Making people slaves and breeding them like dogs and selling their babies like puppies just so they could work for free or be killed and hung and lynched just so it's filmable that they could be cut out a woman's belly while she hanging and stomped into the ground like a bumblebee, a roach.
Wow.
Good old America, capitalism. How did it turn to that? How did somebody go from just doing the indentured servitude to chattel slavery? Some of the most cruel slavery you could think of, putting people in the bottom of boats like sardines, that system, that practice. It was successful. So at this time, when those people wrote that, some people really did mean it for everybody, but then some people meant it just for the elite and the ones who were in power that had control to sort of dictate the direction that we were going to go to as a country. And they wasn't going to stop a good thing. So, here we come with the Civil War. The North want to fight the South. The South wants states' rights. What you want states' rights to do? To treat our niggas the way we want to.
Wow.
And they had to battle over that. They ignored God. They ignored God's human rights and God's standards just because it worked and made America great. It made America grow. It made America successful. It made America one of the most powerful countries in the planet in the shortest amount of time that you could dream of, and that's Israel. Yeah, so I do think some people did mean those words. And I think some people knew right off the top that they didn't mean those words because they knew that they were going to have to become a viable powerhouse for them to be recognized and appreciated, respected, acknowledged as a real country. We, the United States of America, they used what was already in place, which was the financial system, resource owning, all these different things to grow and start supplying textiles and resources at a cheaper price because of slave labor, and grew America to what it is today. So right about now in America, capitalism is exploiting anything that people have demand for and putting a number on it.
Yeah.
And if there's a demand for it, then it only makes sense for you to sell it. Want some sex? Sell it. Want some children? Sell it. Want some love? Sell it.
Wow. Again, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. The phone line's open. Give us a call. We're talking about we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. Willow!
Good morning, Raheem.
Good morning.
Morning glow.
Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
I'm awesome, Raheem. I'm doing fine.
Good deal. What does those words mean to you?
Thank you. But I'm like Ryan, though, for real. And I'm like a lot of people, especially, the intent was there. The intent was there. Now,
what was also the inclusion
out our mouth, but look at action.
Was the inclusion
that should line up with what it said?
Hey, Willa, was the inclusion
have something change? Go ahead, Raheem. I can hear you.
Was the inclusion also there? The inclusion?
What do you mean by when you say inclusion?
Was everybody included when they say we the people? Was that
Raheem?
Yes.
Whoever wrote that,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. First of all, I don't know the heart of whoever wrote that.
Mm-hmm.
Only God knew their heart.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wrote it, and then for me to be a secondary to say, "Oh, he really didn't mean it," that would be false.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that your actions line up with your words.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put it like this: did Martin Luther King mean it when he said he had a dream that one day this happened and that happened?
Good point.
Did the Lord mean it when he said, "Our Father, which art in heaven," when he said that he's going to teach us how to pray? Did he mean it? So what I'm saying is people put out things. When I worked for Mars, Eminem Mars, they had a slogan that we do the best. We do the best under one union. Did they mean it? So what I'm saying is there are people who slip through the cracks whose hearts are not lined up with what you wrote. If you got a company and you hired somebody, the police force, the fire department, even though those things were written, the people that are in leadership, the people that are running the company may not line up with your slogan and have not been called. Okay. All I'm saying is for me to sit up here and say that they didn't mean it for Black people because of the way we were still treated in people's heart. It was evil because of the color of our skin. That God knew. God knows. And did something change? Yes. Something had changed because I ain't in no cotton field. I ain't picking cotton right now. Right now I could work a job. Right now I could make more money. But I know it still go on because I've never been to Amsterdam. But somebody told me over there, they still have where whites only signs are still around. So all I'm saying, Raheem, is that our focus should be on the eternal versus the temporary. But we still need to do what we need to do down here.
Okay. And see,
I'm just saying, what part are you going to play in it?
Okay, that's good.
Is it going to be just geography, or are you going to get up doing the same thing every day?
That's good.
That's insanity.
Good deal. Good deal. But see, my thing is what I do, I look at the atmosphere and the whole what's a fragrance? I'm gonna use fragrance as a word. Fragrance of what was going on during that particular time. And what was in the heart of man, and how they represented themselves during the time in which it was written. Now, you said our Father, you used to say when God says our Father which art in heaven, I look at that very, very, very closely as well, because my thing is he said our Father. Is he including everybody? Does that include everybody? Our Father which art in heaven, or is he talking to a particular group of people?
Well, no, Raheem. He's talking to everybody who believes that he is who he say he is.
Okay, what about the people that don't believe? What about the people that don't believe? He's not addressing them?
If they don't believe it, that's on them, Raheem. If they don't believe it, that's on them not to believe that he's not their father and he's not included. But that ain't what God is saying. God said, I would have all to be saved. But he know the hearts of men are evil. And he gave
Bingo.
To choose.
Bingo. That's exactly what I want
you to do wrong. That's on you as an individual. That does not mean that the right wasn't there.
And that takes me right back to we're gonna move on, Will, and I definitely appreciate the dialogue that we're having right now. But that takes me right back to say we the people, the heart of man, and that's what the heart of man. That leads me right back to there, and that leads me back to believe that they were not inclusive of everybody. And if that be the case, that they was, how could they treat certain individuals the way that they treated them up under this Constitution of the United States of America?
There are some loopholes in there where people do that, Raheem. In your household, not your household, but in your family. You can look at your family and you say, well, we came all from the same seed. Why this boy so ignorant? Why this person this way? Because why? They got the choice of the free will to make their own decisions. I don't base it on, if I set a rule in my household for all my children and they all don't follow it, that didn't mean my rule wasn't right. It didn't mean that I didn't try to teach them the right way.
So
they just didn't come along.
Okay, so
they just didn't do
it. So you think that this Constitution of America, of the United States of America, you think that this Constitution right here was written, and during the time when it was written in 1787, is what we just research and found out it was written in 1787. You're telling me that during that particular time when they wrote this, everybody was included, and they was including everybody, and their intent was to include everybody.
Now,
huh?
I'm just looking at where we are now.
No.
Okay, I got another.
Okay,
I got another one.
Okay, hold on.
All Black Lives Matter.
Hold on. Let's do.
Really matter?
Hold on. To some, yes. To others, no. But my thing is right. Let's deal with when this was written in 1787. In 1787, when this was written, do you think they wrote it for everybody, to include everybody, or was it just for a particular group of people?
Well, hold on, Raheem. Wasn't it just one person that wrote that?
No, I think
that's the preamble that you read.
Yeah, I think it was it one person?
Lincoln. Didn't Lincoln write that?
I'm gonna do some research. I'll research it. Ryan, do you know?
It was one person.
You talk about the Constitution?
Yeah, I think those are group of people.
Oh, I thought that was.
No. Thomas Jefferson was the main drafter, but there were 6 people. It was Washington, Madison, Mason, Sherman, Patterson, and Wilson.
Yeah, I know it was quite a few of them. Now, how many? And I don't know if this even have anything to do with what we're talking about right now. But Ryan, how many of those individuals were slave owners?
So I would have to look up each one of those 6 individuals, but out of the 55 people that signed that document, only 25 of them were slave owners.
It's almost half, though. It's almost half.
It's almost half. But if you put it in context on what Rico was saying the last time he talked, let's just, without the knowledge of me looking up these guys that originally drafted it, let's say those 6 people who drafted this did not own slaves. That shows that the intent to encompass everybody was there. But then you got 25 infectious people who took it and ran with it the wrong way.
Now what?
That's just what comes to my heart.
Now, what if we were to find out that 3 of the 6 were slave owners?
Well, then you got kind of the same problem, right? You got, because Jefferson, they say, was almost the mastermind behind it. They say Thomas Jefferson wrote the majority, and then they all sat down in a room and had kind of a round table meeting. Let's talk about this. Let's see what we can add to make this better. So if you have an original draft, you yourself, and then you open it up to outside influences, like I was saying, some people have that gift of the silver tongue and can say some things that sound good, but then when they get put into practice, it's done all gone haywire and it's against the original meaning. That's just me thinking with an open mind. I don't know. I wasn't sitting in those chambers. You know what I'm saying? That's like when I say what I said in chat earlier, Scotland became under the oppression of England in 1296. They're still under their oppression today. A lot of people don't know that. They don't even get to pass their own bills. They have to go through English rule. The Prime Minister of England has to approve everything. So we're not there. We don't get to see these things. We only have assumptions. We only have dialogue from others that say it was good. Some say it was bad. You know what I'm saying? We only have our hearts to go with. And I love what Willa is saying. Just like what I was saying. The intent was there. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Okay.
You'll never persuade the other.
I think it's this right here. Like I always say, I ain't here to give anybody their opinion. Everybody have their own. I just love having the dialogue. I love having the dialogue, and that's the most important part of what we do here. We have the dialogue, whether we agree, disagree, or whatever. All that's fine. That's good. Just roll up under the bridge. But my thing is, let's have the dialogue. Let's talk about it. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
So here's the deal. We got people that have different mindsets. Some slave owners, some not. Unless you're able to sit at the table and have a conversation to figure out what's best for us all, all of our mindset, which I believe, in just thinking about it and just hearing the conversation, that's what they did. However many people, they wasn't all the same. They didn't think the same. They compromised. Some they had to commune with each other and look at the country as a whole, and they say, what are we going to do from here? Let's put it down on paper and see how we can go forward. Does it seem like that's the sensible thing to do? And when you start writing out documents to establish something, you have to tweak it back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth before you put the final copy down. I'm just thinking out loud as I see what happens on the Morning Glow every morning. We are not all alike.
No.
We don't think alike.
No.
We don't have the same religion. Some of us not religious at all. Some of us are not even Christians. We have Muslims. We have, I don't know, I can't say non-believers, believers, whatever the case, but at least we take the opportunity to sit down and reason together.
Yes. And
I think that it's possible that that's what they did. That's a good thing. But as we look at that, and my thinking in this is that things evolve and change along the way. It seems like it would be good to revamp it as we try to continue to form a perfect union. Which now we find out, and that's my last, now to shut the door with this one, that the perfect union still ain't perfect.
Wow. 508-924-3521, 1787-2024. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
First off, man, let me apologize, y'all. I'm about halfway asleep. I'm gonna get off after this, come in and go and take my bed to sleep. I knew we weren't talking about no preamble, and I done bought us some preamble. I say the person that drafted those original words at the beginning of the Constitution, that may have been a one-man thing. Those words that you read. Now, the entire Constitution was a group effort, but I believe that could have been one original person that came up with that dialogue, and then probably got the agreement of everybody else, because it's so perfectly worded. It sounds just. It sounds equal and fair, especially at a time when they was trying to make sure that they would get off from under the British Empire and establish itself as a sole country, to be respected and acknowledged. So, I think there may have been some people that had ulterior motives that were already involved in the slave system. They probably had been pushing it a little bit and they wanted it accepted. And then you had some that may have been against it. And they were, speaking for everybody when they drafted all of the Constitution. But just like with anything, man, when people see benefit from it, a lot of people will grasp onto it. Slavery was such a feasible and successful system that some Black people got out of slavery and then they went and participated in it themselves.
Yeah.
They talk about a slave master up in South Carolina. He was the worst one out of all of them. He took some of the tactics of the worst slave owners that were white and implemented them himself and became even worse. He was one of the biggest slave owners, another Black man. Why? Because he bought into the system.
Exactly.
He didn't look at the human rights side of it. He looked at the financial and the economical profits and success that came behind it. He said, well, you know what? I can't beat them. Well, I'll take it back. I did beat them and I joined them. So some of those original people may have had that intent, but once the system of slavery proved to be as successful as it was, and it gave man, it gave the United States, uh, it took them from the wheel to the rocket in no time. Went from the bottom to the top. Who was going to stop that? Now, some people were like, hey, wait a minute, we're going too far. We're going too far, man. This is getting a little out of hand. We don't went beyond indentured servitude. Matter of fact, we fixing to ban it. And some people say, well, I don't care if you ban it. I'm going to still do it on the sly. That's why you got that record about the Clotilda. People still was trading slaves even after it was forbidden. But once again, who wanted to let something go, or something that was so profitable? Because it made the United States who it is. So I think, like what Ryan was saying earlier, it comes to a point where you have systems in place sometimes that can work. The justice system can work. But if you got the wrong people in place with agendas and biases, or just like to abuse their power, have their own personal agendas, then they can corrupt that system. So in some cases, systems that are started out corrupted can be altered. You could put amendments in them to sort of counter what was put in place at first. That's what happens in government. But man, we see examples of it today. You know what I'm saying? Even with bipartisan agreements, sometimes bills that should be passed won't get passed until somebody allows you to put some goofy stuff in that really doesn't benefit everybody else. But this is the only way you're gonna let it pass, is if you let us put this on the end of the bill. That's how it works. It's people, man. People are corrupt. I don't want to say that the person that wrote that original passage wasn't legitimate in speaking for all people. Like I said, I think that was a one-man thing. He probably could have meant everybody. Who knows? But at the time that was written, if slavery was already full-fledged and swinging, I don't think they meant it for everybody. That's just my opinion. If slavery was already successful and already on its way to being profitable for some, to the point of where that's how they even became empowered to be able to have a input on this, then they were fixing to sacrifice that system, and they didn't mean that for the people that they were selling and breeding.
Yeah, exactly. And the one you was talking about is Anthony Johnson. Anthony Johnson was an Angolan unborn man who achieved wealth in the early 17th century colony of Virginia. He held as an indentured servant in 1621. He earned his freedom after several years and became a slave owner, black man. Anthony Johnson was his name. Willow!
He thought the system worked.
Yeah.
He liked it. He thought the system worked. He wanted to be a part of it. I could succeed in that. I see how that worked. I could do that better than them.
Exactly. And definitely went into it, and that's what he did. That's exactly what he did. Wow. Willow!
Right.
Talk to me, sis. Talk to me. Like I said, if we ain't gonna get on this, I'm gonna get the facts. I ain't gonna hold back no facts.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
You definitely gonna get what's on my heart.
Come on now.
For sure. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, or I don't know, maybe not thinking about so much what happened back then in 2018 or 17. I'm too busy right now trying to focus on what's happening in 2024. Because it's so wicked and evil nowadays. It's horrible. It's literally horrible. One block down the street, my sister's friend brother got shot 17 times by his own kind. So I'm so busy right now. Maybe, hey, I can't. First of all, I can't change what happened yesterday. I can't. I can only learn from it. And I believe that's what our history should be about. It should be about learning how we could do better as a people. Because right now, our own people, we ain't learned what we learned. Are we together? Have we said, yeah, some of us have. Yeah, some of us have. Some of us are trying to pass that baton. But how many? Our young people, our next generation is suffering. And what are we doing to try to save them? Come on now. That's where I'm at, Raheem. I understand we just got out of Black history. I understand learning who did this, who did that. But I'm about trying to do something now for the next generation so they could be saying, you know what, the Morning Glow was able to do this for the young people of today. And we got some kind of light.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it sometimes hurts me because our young people sometimes utilize things like that to say that's why I don't like another culture. Instead of allowing the fire to be burnt out, we add more wood to it because of their thinking, because of the way they think. Their hearts are not right. They're not even in a spiritual place, and we put more wood to the fire. You know, come on now.
Wow.
A lot of people didn't even know George Floyd. Don't know George Floyd. I didn't know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of family members didn't even like him before he got to where he got right now. Come on now.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
We as the people have to do better. We got to do better. Come on now. You got to do better. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, well, what is it that I'm going to add to the United States or take away?
Mm-hmm.
That's me. That's me, Raheem. I want to do something. Me. That's just me.
You know, that's on my heart. There you I don't know you finished. You said that right there. When you said it right there, I know you're done. But I'm gonna read this thing again. And I want everybody that's listening, if you're available, give us a call. Tell us what you think about this. Do you think it's better? Do you think it has improved? Do you think it's stagnated? What do you think? We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. United States of America. First, are we united? Anyway, that's a whole different conversation for a totally different day. United States of America. But do you think this is inclusive? Do you think this Constitution that was written in 1787, do you think that it includes everybody? Is it totally inclusive, or was it just for a particular group of people? Was it for everybody, or was black people and women excluded out of this Constitution of the United States of America? Were they excluded?
Hey, Raheem.
Yes.
You know, I'm along the lines of Will Willer, because we can't hang on this too long. And the answer is already sort of obvious. We have to go back to today or where we are today. Or we could go back to more recent history. You know what I'm saying? And say, you know, well, if that was all true, you know, why do we need the civil rights?
Wow.
Why did we need, you know, why did we go through a Jim Crow? Why did Jim Crow exist? Why do we have to go through black codes and peonage? You know, if it was true, and then we went through all these different things, why do we have to get a right to vote?
Yeah.
You know, why we had to drink from separate water fountains? You know, it gets to a point where you say, well, okay, that might be a good question, but it ain't nothing to harp on, because even if it was legitimate, somewhere down the line, people didn't acknowledge it for what the word said, and we had to go and fight. And so this is what it boiled down to with the younger generation. Even for them to be interested today, you have to start fast forwarding it and bringing it. I mean, because we have already logically understood that even if whether they meant it or not, they didn't stand by the action showed different than the words.
Yeah.
So how long can you go back and say they lied about the Constitution? Was they meaning it for us? They lied. No, of course they didn't. Martin Luther King died for a reason.
Yeah.
They killed him for a reason. You know, we speaking on certain things in this day and time that is going on that we know still means that we are fighting a system that exists, and the Constitution ain't even strong enough to battle it. So, you know, we do have to move forward to even get the young people to even be interested, because I'm gonna be honest with you. If you did have younger people listening, they probably tuned out because they can't relate. But they do know what they're seeing today. Now, what they probably need to hear is why these things exist today, and maybe understand some of the things that exist that they might not even realize what they're participating in. like the drill music that's telling them to shoot each other, or the music they listening to that's telling them how to go about getting the bag, and the bag is more than anything, because really what they're doing, they're perpetuating that same thing that might have corrupted the Constitution from the very beginning, and that was the greed of money.
Wow.
So I mean, we could talk about the Constitution, and we could say, well, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but there were things that made the Constitution pretty much not existent because people got distracted by success and greed, and it made them think inhumane ways. We had to go and fight for God-given human rights that were not observed. This was after that Constitution. So the actions are spoken for themselves. It ain't too much that we need to. I don't think we need to keep going back and forth on whether they meant it or not, because if they did mean it, we probably wouldn't have to go through some of the things that we're going through in the past and today.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Ryan, talk to me, brother.
So I did some digging. I did some reading while I had a minute. So it looks like Jefferson had slaves. Madison had slaves and then got rid of them because he was opposed to it by the time of the Constitution.
Yeah.
Mason had slaves. Washington had slaves. He had 153 of them, but not that it excuses the fact that he had them, but from what I've read, he didn't treat them as we know they got treated. Sherman was opposed to slavery, did not have them. Patterson was the same, and Wilson was the same. So it was half and half. And then you had two that got rid of them and said, nope, not about it no more. So you had some that previously held and then got rid of, which out of the six people, that puts it right down the middle. And Jefferson was the drafter, so he's the odd man out. So it was 50-50 plus one, and then minus two at the end. So you end up with five people who opposed it at the signing. That's what I got digging around just a little bit that I did.
Good deal. Good deal. And see, that lends to another part of the conversation that we certainly not gonna have time to go into today. Yeah, I want to lighten this conversation up a little bit. I don't even know why. Somebody said, actually, I posted this earlier, asked me what I thought about it, and I didn't think we was gonna have time to get around to it, but I guess we got a few minutes right now. Rico, you there?
Yeah, I'm right there.
And I know your stance on it already. Even before I answer the question, I know your stance on it. Not important, not relevant, shouldn't even be talked about. I know your stance on stuff like this. But I'm gonna ask you the question for the sake of the conversation. Why is Beyonce getting so much feedback on going into country music?
Once again, sometimes people can already be big enough stars, and they want to say that, okay, when is enough is enough. She may have already had a dream to be a country star. She might have had a desire when she was young to be a country singer. I used to have a thing for Dolly Parton and Loretta Lynn, Crystal Gayle. Man, I used to love me some country music.
Yeah.
So I think you see a lot of these black people that are actually going into that genre because they're saying, hey, man, it's 2024 and I shouldn't limit myself when I have a talent or a skill or a desire to do this type of music too. It's stepping outside of the box, not trying to go along with the norm. Now, some people think she's just trying to capitalize and be more famous or whatever, but she actually might have a secret desire to just, always have had a dream to want to do a country music album. Maybe she secretly has country music tunes, and when she's in the shower, she's singing with a country twang.
Yeah.
And it's just something that sounds so good that a lot of people are like, man, you know what? You shouldn't hide that. You really sound good. So I don't know why people are making such a big deal out of it. But I mean, to each his own.
Exactly. Ryan, what do you think? And I'm gonna tell you, I know a couple of years ago she was actually at the Country Music Award and she sang. I can't remember exactly who it was, but she got on the stage and she sang, and she got a lot of backlash even from that. This was quite a few years ago. Now she finally catapulted forward, and she's coming out with the country CD. But Ryan, why do you think she's getting so much backlash? Ryan, you there?
Yes, Justin. Yeah, I'm here, Ryan. I need a minute if you can pass to somebody else real quick.
Okay. Let's go to Willow. Toussaint, coming to you next, brother. I definitely got to hear what you got to say. Well, why do you think Beyonce is getting so much backlash? Because of the fact she's coming out with a country CD.
Well, you know what? This is what my opinion about that is. That first of all, Beyonce is very talented. She got a beautiful voice. And I do believe that she may have a passion for her music. Now, whichever direction that she directed that in, because she may love country. She want to cross over into that area of music. You know, you got the different R&B, rap. You know, who's to say that wasn't what she wanted to do, because she's the first to ever do it, and she's being successful of it. But people are going to have their opinions about, regardless, about you're stepping on our ground now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people believe that,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
People believe that rap music is just something that's what black people do, but it's not. Anyway, only black people do, might be the majority, but it's not. So if white people start rapping like it is, they did Vanilla Ice and some others, then you got those who got their opinion about, hey, stay in your lane. That's the reason that they might be doing that. And she's being she is good at what she's doing. And I do believe also it's to capitalize on it. She ain't putting her music out there for free.
Yeah.
She's charging people for it. So that it says what it exactly says. Hey, you know, we can broaden this business. You know, instead of cooking chicken, go and start cooking sirloin.
Yeah.
You know, that's how business, you know, I'm a little bit business minded. I'm always thinking, what area, what are people demanding? That's what you go after. But she's very talented. And why limit her talent to just one certain type of music if she could do it? And people are going to have their opinions about what she's doing.
Exactly.
That's on my heart right now.
I'm gonna play this clip. I'm gonna play this clip real quickly. This is Richie. He actually had a little conversation based on this, and surprisingly enough, one of the guys that I like, man, the guy from the Dukes of Hazzard, Snyder, he's commenting on it, and I want y'all to hear what he's saying about Beyonce going into country music, and we'll make our comments after that. Let me get this thing queued up here. This is gonna be quite interesting. Let me make it full screen here if I can. Oh, I guess I can't. Oh, I messed up.
Hey, Raheem.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are jealous when they find out that there are people that are extremely talented in more than one thing. You know, some people are just good at one thing, and then you got some people that's good at everything. And the people that are jealous, they get to the point where, like, here she go again, here he goes again. You know, but we have to understand, man, especially in our culture, we have athletes that play 2 or 3 sports, and they sell.
Exactly.
Be elite in 2 or 3 sports. So you know, why, like Willa said, why limit your potential at greatness? You know, when you can do extraordinary things on the other side that some people might not even realize because you limiting yourself.
Exactly. Stay right there, Rico. Don't go. I'm gonna play this clip, man, and I want you to tell me what you hear. It's especially what he said about her. Hold on.
So Beyonce, I guess she's going to have a country album. Guaranteed it's going to do very well. Well, there's some people really upset about this. Here it is.
The lefties in the entertainment industry just won't leave any area alone, right? They just have to seize control over every aspect, don't they?
They've got to make their mark, just like a dog in a dog walk park. Every dog has to mark every tree, right? So that's what's going on here. Shania and the other folks you talked about, what they did is they were in country music and they went out. That's one thing. But people coming into country music have because I know a little something about country music.
No, you don't. I'm about to educate you, though. Let's put up the picture full mask. Isn't it something? Comparing Beyonce to a dog whistle for the B word, by the way. And he's incorrect on historical dynamics. And I think the Dukes of Hazzard actor is just mad he's not on the collaboration. So, country singer John Snyder and OAN anchor Allison Steinberg were criticizing Beyonce for releasing country music for an upcoming album. This is not the Houston native's first foray into the genre. In 2016, she performed at the Country Music Awards alongside the Chicks, a performance that drew anger from country music fans, conservatives, and yes, bigots, with feeling that a Black artist like her was encroaching on a genre that she did not belong. What? According to the true origins of country music, a TED Talk by vocalist, historian Queen Esther, not only is country music rooted in Black culture, but it also originated with blues music and West African music traditions. The banjo, a key instrument in country music, originated in Africa. And the white man who popularized the banjo learned how to play it from the enslaved. Facts. All right, Mr. Mayor, once again, talking and don't know their history. What's that?
I mean, and it's never really.
We can let me see. Okay, we can stop it from right there. Rico, what did you hear?
Pretty much, again, I mean, it's good he went into the history. That's a good thing for people to know the history of country music.
Absolutely.
But then just bringing it back to the ignorant side of it, where it's just the fact that here he is, a country singer, and a lot of people don't even know he's a country singer. They just remember him from the Duke Boys.
Yeah.
But didn't nobody say that he was wrong for being in Tyler Perry soap operas? Being a country singer, but he all up in our business. So I mean, it's a double standard, man, and it's pretty much, once again, it's a jealousy thing. They started calling her lefty. They made it get political. And to her, it might not even be nothing about no politics. It might just be the Louisiana. My mama, Louisiana. My daddy, Alabama. And she's Houston, Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
Matter of fact, one of her cousins was over the house watching the Super Bowl over here at my mom's house with me, watching the Super Bowl. They are Alabama and Louisiana. And once again, if you're from Alabama, Louisiana, you probably did get hooked on Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
Hee Haw.
Exactly.
I used to love me some Hee Haw. And Elvis Presley too. So the thing is people want to put you in a box and tell you what you should be good at. But some of us are multi-talented. Some of us are good at more than one thing. And you shouldn't be mad at somebody for reaching out to explore that potential that they have to be great at numerous things. Exactly. Maybe he's mad because her celebrity is so much bigger than his that she'll sell apples just like Taylor Swift will sell Super Bowl tickets. But see, didn't nobody mention nothing about what the right was doing with Taylor Swift.
But why did he have to minimize his comment by saying she's like a dog in a dog walk park, marking her territory? You know what they do in a dog. Why do you have to say that, man? Why? It
was all political. It was all political. That was to make it extremely political. That was to let you know, just because she's promoted some way extreme left issues. she thanked the LGBTQ for inspiring her. For there's so many things that she supports that the political extremists can go and start using this as an angle because of the things that she stands for. And so they'll go back and say, well, you know what? Now she's trying to bring all that mess of country music. She's going to start trying to bring the LGBTQ and the Beehive and all these different people. So, they just, once again, they politicize it. When really and truly, she might just be trying to, accomplish her dream that she had to put out an album that sound like Crystal Gayle. Maybe she impersonated Crystal Gayle in the past, being a person that loves music. I mean, listen, man, I love all types of music.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? You name it. So, for a person to put me in a box and tell me that I shouldn't be listening to certain things, that would be equivalent to telling me that I shouldn't be trying to sing certain things. That don't make no sense.
Is that like shut up and dribble?
Shut up and dribble and don't kick a field goal. Matter of fact, black men can't play quarterback.
Exactly. Let me go to Christy. Christy, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Hi, I'm doing all right.
Good to have you. Good to have you.
Conversation.
Always good to have you. Yes.
I on the Beyonce thing. Again, you can look at her with other stars that have, gone out into different, areas. It's just noise, it's nonsense. And what the other caller just said before about it's like akin to someone telling him what he can sing or what he can't sing or whatever. I wish people would just let people be.
Yes.
I don't care what she wants to try. She can be an astronaut next if she wants to. If she can do it, let her do it. There should be no barriers for what she wants to accomplish, just as there shouldn't be for anyone else.
Exactly. I love
so
that.
That's just, I just don't see why to put the hate on her. Or anyone else. And that whole dog thing,
I know.
There are people talk about things made political. I think it's interesting that she sung with the Chicks in 2016 because they were blasted by the right, and all kinds of stuff going on with them, death threats, just because she made a comment. One of them made a comment at a concert.
Exactly. I remember that.
Craziness. So, but that's just where we are today, unfortunately.
Wow. Yeah. Unfortunately. And I'm always happy when you call in. You need to call in more. We definitely appreciate you. Cassandra, good. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
No. I happen to always tune in later. I don't know why. So I've caught the tail end parts of conversations. So I'll have to get on that to be in earlier.
Yes, ma'am. And you're always more than welcome. You are more than welcome. Anytime you want to come, just call in and we got you from there. We'll take it from there. How about that?
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Cassandra, young lady, how you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Did you hear the clip I played?
No.
Okay. It was Mr. Snyder from the Dukes of Hazzard, one of your favorite shows. He was saying,
yeah, I heard him. Yeah.
Talking about Beyonce?
Yeah.
Okay. What did that say to you? What did you get out of there? And I'm still go ahead.
You really don't want me to fight for that. You don't want to hear it. No. It just shows people who you really are, and I'm not mad at him because that's you telling us, you showing us who you are, and that's good. We good. We good. So now we know where you stand on this, but it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Did you hear what Dolly Parton said?
No, I didn't. What'd she say?
Yeah. she said that she was so proud because they asked her, what did she think about her coming out number one?
Yes.
That means that a whole
wow.
Come on now. Come on now.
Yeah.
How you come out number one? That is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
So, you know, people can say what they want, but that child, she do what she do, and she do it well. So I'm proud of her. For those that have a problem with it, they don't know where the music came from, obviously. So I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. Toussaint, talk to me, brother.
You know the sad thing, and I would throw this out here because it's been commented before. How dare, this is what would be said. How dare she make gospel album?
Wow.
You think it would be said?
Yeah.
But see now, if anybody can, she would be good at it. Unfortunately, we would bash her to death and call it satanic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know, people have no ability to change in this society.
Wow.
Because we are, and we have become holier than thou.
Better say it.
You know, it's not the fact that she's doing country western. It's the fact that they know that she's going to do well. It don't make no difference, like the sister just said. I think that she would be a good astronaut if she tried to put her head to it.
Wow. Ryan, talk to me, brother.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly. Finish your thought. I'm sorry, Toussaint. Finish your thought.
No, you're good. Yeah. Okay. I just think that there are some people that have we may not like them. I'm not a Beyonce fan because it is what it is. But I know one thing: there are certain people that like Snoop Doggy Dogg, him and what you call it, got a gospel album. He died.
Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Martha Stewart.
No, the man. Something about the name. You know the guy that what is his name?
I know exactly. As a matter of fact, I got that on thing that's gonna pull up. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly.
He and Snoop made the song.
Yeah.
And how dare Snoop make gospel album and he got a joint in his hand? That's how we are. We territorial, just like the system that we was talking about.
Actually, Snoop on his gospel album, he got a lot of people on his gospel album. He got a lot of people on there.
Lance Allen.
Yeah. You can think of Lance.
No, Lance. No, I couldn't think of it, but I can see it.
Exactly. Something about the name Jesus. It is the sweetest name.
Hit that high note, Brian.
Yeah. That's it.
Sound like a pig being slaughtered.
Ryan, I ain't fooling with you, man. Ryan, talk to me, brother. What did you hear in that clip?
I heard a bunch of nonsense, but so I think Rico is on point. It's probably political. If you remember back in the 2020 elections, Taylor Swift went out there and did her little thing and then got on there and said, vote for Biden. Turned her concert political.
Wow.
And that brought out 1.5 million votes for him. Just her saying that. So let's interject Beyonce into, just call it what it is, a predominantly right-wing musical stage, and have her do the same thing. So I think it's probably a political stunt. Not that she's not talented, because everybody knows she's talented. She can sing. She can sing whatever she wants to. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
She can talk about the dog getting lost and the truck broke down and the beer bottles being empty all she wants to. my girlfriend left me for somebody else, and yeah, I'm not a big country music fan. If you can't tell,
I can kind of tell, bro. I can kind of tell.
I get down with some country hip hop though.
I bet you if Eminem made a country one, you'll support that, don't you?
I don't like Eminem.
You don't like you from the D and don't like Eminem?
Nah.
Nope. They gonna win you out of there.
Yeah, they're gonna try. I don't like music that's made under the complete influence. I don't like people who say one thing and then later on down the line say something else.
Mm-hmm. Flip flop.
So yeah, wishy-washy.
Yeah.
But yeah, let her sing what she want to sing, man.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you the album gonna be good.
Oh yeah, I heard one of the songs on it, man. It actually was pretty good. I heard one. Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
let her sing. Let her sing.
Let her sing. Let her sing. Let her sing. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, right.
Talk to me now. Why in the world would somebody have a problem with Beyonce coming out with a country CD?
Because people, like Rico said, people are jealous. People have problems with just people, and they pick their fight. We got other things we need to fight about, but they pick a fight because somebody is trying to do better, increase their talent in a broad area, and her sales is gonna say the majority. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
I love her. She got a beautiful, beautiful voice.
Mm-hmm.
That's her talent. That's a God-given talent. And Raheem, people got opinion about everything.
Yes.
I know you got a radio show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. People love to talk now.
So
mm-hmm.
They got, and it's sad. When I heard that clip, I'm gonna tell you, what really stuck out to me was when he said that. He said they like to mark their territory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He didn't say Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say Beyonce. I don't know if y'all caught it.
Oh yeah, I did.
They.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Willa.
They.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold up. Right there I stopped. I was like, what? I would have been asking, what do you mean they?
Who is this they you talking about? Yeah, exactly.
Come on now. It's one thing for you to have your opinion, but now it's really coming out. And then I think we're going to say you was in a Tyler Perry movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, Tyler. I hope you heard that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's on my heart, Raheem. I'm going to stop right there.
Good deal. Rico, close us out, brother. What's on your heart?
Well, he exposed what he meant by what he said, the left.
Mm-hmm.
That was the day he was talking about the left.
Yeah.
But once again, he politicized it because what it really boils down to is sometimes people reveal the true way that things work without even saying this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what the issue is with a lot of people. Beyonce has that Michael Jackson, Beatles, and Elvis appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And what they don't want her to do is have the same appeal that Taylor Swift has.
Yeah.
That's why she doesn't have the support and the venues. That's why she only had 56 shows on her tour, and Taylor Swift has 151 stops.
Wow.
They want her to limit to herself. They don't want her to be as big as Michael Jackson. Why? Because there's an appeal or influence. Some people come on here and they try to pretend that influence doesn't have that much of an impact.
Mm-hmm.
And for some, it doesn't. They just accept entertainment for what it is, and they can say, well, you know what, I like that person singing, but I don't go for their ideology.
Mm-hmm.
But she has this appeal that has fans and idol worshippers and zombies that will do anything that she asks them to do.
Yep.
So now here it is. She could put out a subpar country album, but just her name itself is going to make that album sell, and it's going to make it sound good. I mean, hey, man, look, $1 billion made Jay-Z handsome.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's what appeal does. So now you take somebody like Beyonce or K. Michelle kicked the doors in. She already been killing them in country music for like the last 2 years. Ain't playing with them, and they love her.
Yeah.
But see, you got people in the majority that like that song. Try that in a small town. Oh, they extreme right. They ain't extreme left. But see, the extreme right people that like that type of music that's politicized are the ones that'll go back and make it seem like she's trying to politicize it when really and truly she might just be living out a dream that she had as a little girl. I want to do me a country album.
Yep.
Oh man, she probably would have been picked on when she was young. I can only imagine the little time she spent in the gas in Alabama, her running around with her friends, talking about she want to be a country singer. You know how black people would have picked with her.
Yeah.
You a fool.
Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with you, girl?
She may have just wanted to accomplish a dream. She may have just wanted to say this is out of her system to say that she didn't leave this world without putting out her country album because that's what her true heart was. You know, so they what they're doing, they are really in fear of her appeal and her influence, and they decided to politicize it and then accuse her of being political. When really and truly, she could have just been trying to expand her brand and chase a dream of putting out an album that she always dreamed of putting out. They could, I mean, sometimes people on the outside could corrupt what a person is trying to do sincerely because they have an ulterior motive or a narrative they want to promote. Maybe they have an agenda to make everything political because they're so deeply tied into it. So now while you're listening to Jason Aldean talking about try this in a small town and you just embracing it and you ignoring it, saying that it ain't got nothing to do with politics, even though it's obvious it does. You go back and accuse another woman that has the power to influence politics of doing exactly that when really and truly she might just trying to be chasing her dream.
Exactly. And see, my thing is right, and I look at it in the same, I look at the other side of the coin as well. How could she go to her children and say, go out there and pursue every dream, you do every dream, fulfill all your dreams? And she had a dream of being a country singer and never fulfilled it. How could she do that? Rico.
That's right.
Rico, there's somebody, man, that joined in about 9:30, man, and they said, man, this damn like a good conversation, man. I wish there was a way I could listen to the whole broadcast all over again. Rico, is it possible for them to do that, man? Do you have some news for them?
It's very possible. You can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com and catch the entire replay in its entirety.
There you go. There you go. Good deal. Good deal. Well,
Raheem.
Come on now, Willie. Yeah, Willie. You know what? I'm hold on for a minute, Willie. I'm gonna do one more thing before I do this. Hold on, Cassandra.
Yes, sir.
I need you to do me.
Yes, sir.
I meant to do this earlier, and we're gonna do this every day. I'm gonna go to different people to do it. I'm putting you on the spot. But what is the hot topic of today?
Oh. I'm using Bixby Text Call to convert your voice to text and respond to you. If you want to continue, please stay on the call.
Okay, now I don't know what that's all about. Somebody got something going on.
Not me either. What is the hot topic for the day?
Yeah, what is the hot topic of the day? Any hot topic that's going on
of the
today?
Day?
Yes.
Oh no, the one that we just got through talking about is what is my hot topic for the day.
Okay, that Beyonce.
Is that what you mean?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that really disappointed me, but it shows me where. See, that's why I say when people say, "Oh, this country, it's not really, racist, and it's not this, and it's not it," we know it's not so, because you have high-profile people. That Dukes of Hazzard was one of the hottest shows on TV for a long time.
Born Luke Duke.
During its time, it was at the top. It was at the top, and to realize that you had people like Snyder. That I really never was a big fan of that show, but people that really like that show, and then you showing who you really are, I don't know, man. I'm saddened that we're still here.
Yeah.
2024, we're still here.
Yeah, exactly.
We are still here. He might as well have said the N-word, and people always want to push their way into thing. Are you people? He might as well have said that.
Yeah.
He might as well.
And
because that's basically what him and that little girl was saying.
In a roundabout way, they did.
That's all it was saying, Raheem. Anybody that couldn't get that, something wrong with you. That's what they were saying.
Yeah. And that is our hot topic of the day. So everybody, I want y'all to be prepared. I'm gonna ain't gonna tell you when I'm gonna come to you. I'm just gonna say, look here, give me a hot topic of the day in the middle of the broadcast. Hopefully, it's gonna be a lot earlier than this time, but that's what we're gonna do. Willow.
Well, before you go to Willow, let's throw this one out there real quick,
okay?
So people could think about it. They're trying to use the chicken sandwich and fidget spinner psychology on us with these Trump shoes. And guess what? The same psychology that they worried about Beyonce using with her country music, it's the same psychology they're using with these tennis shoes and the red bottoms.
Thank you, Rico.
Thank
you, Rico.
And guess what? It's gonna be some people gonna go out there and buy them, and they're gonna support Trump because of it. They just got to find the right spokesperson.
Wow. Somebody gonna sell out and support him and try to sell it to everybody. Somebody gonna do it. I'm just waiting to see. It caused K. Michelle a lot a couple of years ago when she actually went out there and performed at one of the Trump rallies. She did that, and it caused her tremendously. And she was, I think she was a great talent. But that
not K. Michelle, Chrisette
Michelle. That's it. Yeah, Chrisette Michelle. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Yep, sure did. Caused her greatly, and my wife used to love Chrisette Michelle, man.
Sure did.
Yeah. She caused her greatly. So you gotta weigh the cost. But that's just where we are right now. So let me go back to. Hold on, I said I'm gonna do something. Willow.
Come on, Ryan.
You know what, man? You talked about something a while back. Scripture of the day. Do you have the scripture for today? You thought I forgot, didn't you?
Oh wow! I think Romans 3:23. We've all come short of the glory of God. All have sinned and come short of the glory of God. All have sinned.
Good deal.
There you go.
See, you thought I forgot. Now I can do it. Willow.
Come on, Raheem.
Are you ready?
Raheem, I am so ready. Let's go, Raheem.
Well, I ain't got one more thing to say to you, Willa, and that is, since you're ready, let's go.
Amen. Let's just be grateful this morning. Let's just thank God for all the things that He brought us through the weekend. We've known what our weekend was like. So many people that died and passed away, got shot, got killed. But look at God woke you up this morning and gave you another opportunity to get it right with Him. Who wouldn't serve a God like that? Father, we thank you. We thank you. We honor you this morning, and we lift you up, Lord. Father, the word says that no weapon formed against us will prosper. Yes, Lord. And Father, we thank you for your word. We thank you that you said that faith without works is dead. So, Father, we believe through our faith that you're going to give us the victory in this life. Yes. No matter what color we are, no matter what religion, spirituality we serve through, the whole objective, Lord, is to lift you up and glorify you. So, Father, we thank you through that light, Lord, that we display each and every day, because the power of the Holy Spirit dwells within us, oh Lord. It's not anything that we do, but it's the power of God that manifests itself in our lives, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for encamping the angels around our family members, around our children, Lord, because we know that we live in an evil and wicked world. So, Father, we thank you for being our Savior. We thank you for being our spiritual fighter, Lord. Father, because we know you see those things even before it happens. Father, we know that you know what we need even before we act. Yes. So we thank you in advance, Lord. Those that have called out names within their hearts and mind, Lord. Father, touch them, because we need a healer right now. Not only do we need spiritual healing. We need a physical healing. Father, touch our minds, oh Lord. Touch the minds of your people, Lord, and touch their heart. Touch each and every last one that's on this line, Lord. Whatever it is that they're dealing with, whatever circumstance that they're involved in, Father, let them know that there's still hope. There's hope, Lord, because you live. We thank you, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for being a Savior.
Yes.
Thank you for the morning glow. Thank you for Raheem and his family. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, and amen. Thank you, Lord.
Yes, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a great broadcast, y'all. And I want to thank you. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:16. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And then we shine some of this light in you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it. And I'm sure that you will as well. Have a great day. Love you. And if you get an opportunity, take care of each other. Talk to you tomorrow morning if God says the same.